Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Hey, Phil. So, I'm going to write the today command, and I want to talk a little bit about yesterday. So, let's see. Ideally, it's something that works toward publishing a new version of the demo. Yeah. So, I mentioned this on Discord, but I wanted to share this here too. Yesterday was a bad day. It wasn't due to any like person or stream thing or Skeleseller. I started streaming. I ended after about half an hour. I was frustrated. I went to bed. I slept for like 2 hours. I then pondered life and why I felt the way I did for the rest of the day. And I came to some conclusions about some of the stuff. Like I said, I wrote about it more in the Adam Learns Discord. I don't think it's worth covering everything there. Hey, Golden Nix. The important thing is I want to focus on the launch of Skeleseller, and I want to make sure that the process works well enough that I don't have sorts of like bad days happening often, I guess. I know part of this is just being human. I'm going to have bad days every once in a while. Today, I will pick up with the work that we started yesterday, which is getting the new battle map in place, and then the art, and then some of the translation stuff that we needed to do. And that way, hopefully, we can just release the demo on Steam. There's probably a lot of miscellaneous work toward this end. So let's write all this stuff over here. And then, yeah, and then one other thing I wanted to mention, Jitspo's event is this Saturday. Oh, I see. Gotcha. I will write that down. Nix. Yeah. All right, so we have new graphics now. I ditched GIMP. We're gonna try using Affinity instead for any image editing stuff. And I just took a picture of some random Discord text just to see what it would be like. And yeah, I haven't used it a lot, but if it works, it works. And I expect it to be much smoother than GIMP. And it used to be paid software, and now they have a freemium model. And very likely whatever I want to do is on the free part of freemium, because I'm not doing anything that advanced. I'm like cutting images and changing colors and stuff sometimes. Okay, so we now have a mines graphic, like a specific mines graphic. And I think we might need to do some work on this. I'm not totally sure. So let's plug both of these things into here. We have mines. I never took out the mountain one. Okay, that's fine. Replace. What was the issue? GIMP is just not great in general, and I think there are a lot of UX problems. Yesterday, the specific issue that I ran into was I got kind of like stuck in a couple of tools, and then the program just started lagging like crazy. And I do not have a weak computer. So it's not like, well, I just threw 40,000 images at it or something. I had 3 buffers open. It just slowed to a crawl. It was, yeah, tedious. And then every once in a while, and this didn't happen yesterday, but every once in a while I get stuck in a tool in a way that I don't think there's any way to get out. Like no amount of clicking, no amount of hotkey usage, I can't click dialogues, I can't click menu items. I literally have to quit the program. I lose any unsaved data. And that's happened more than once. And I looked up online when it happened, and some people are like, oh yeah, this has happened to me. It's pretty rare. It's like, it is pretty rare for me too, but when it happens, it's like, I don't want to just stop what I'm doing and lose everything and have to, yeah, anyway. It's caused more annoyance and frustration than it's caused benefit at this point. And yeah, I think it's not worth using anymore. Maybe when they get to V4 or something, it'll be better, but yeah, their upgrade to V3 didn't really seem to do a lot for me. Okay, so we have the mines here, and the mountain. I've got to go get this graphic too. Did I change it in here? I did not change it in here. How's that? Oh, it just didn't refresh in here. I see. Okay, that's fine. Quick load, mountain. And then we've got to do something, maybe that button. Yeah. Okay. I know of Krita. I've never used it though. Also, what I'm trying to do is not necessarily pixel art, just to be clear. Like a lot of times what I'm doing is I'm just taking 2 images and slapping them together and annotating them somehow, or yeah. Yesterday, what we were doing was trying to like mask out some pixels here. But even then, I wouldn't really say it's pixel art. It's like, that's the kind of thing you do even with real life photos. You'd still like mask out a face or something. Okay, I gotta line this up very well. And I gotta go find that graphic. Let me see. Give me a sec. Okay, here's the graphic. And then what happened over here? Man, there's been a lot of people joining Discord that I just don't trust anymore that they're real people. This person might be. I actually did announce in the stream today that, hey, I announced something on Discord, so maybe they joined to see that message. But this person, they created their account today, and then they joined my Discord. Like, the odds of this being a real person are so low. And you can see in the past here, like, deleted user. There's probably a bunch of those. Yeah, deleted user. So this stuff happens enough now. Yeah, deleted user, where I'm just like, well, let's try to be a little bit careful about this. Yeah, Scientific. I figured you must be real because you joined after I made the announcement here, at least. But yeah, and welcome in on both Discord and in the stream. But yeah, the first person was almost certainly a bot, and I gave them 90 minutes to respond. If they'd said like, "Oh, I'm a human, don't worry," I would have been like, "Okay, fine, stay." And then if they spam, I would just delete their messages. Okay, so what is the shortcut for this? I just started using this. Okay, good. Yeah, it's Command Alt Shift N, and that pastes into a new image. So we got to line this up here, and hopefully it's like nicely selectable. How do I line this up then? I guess the snow ridge should tell me. Yeah. So what I should do is I should make the Phoenix invisible for a second and just look at the snow. Oh no, the snow's not part of the graphic. Okay, so I got to do it based on where the tunnel opens up. Okay, let's look at that then. Tunnel opens up like right above this lighter ridge. So we move. There's the lighter ridge. So yeah, I would go something like that. I'd like to get this perfect if I can. I guess the path would probably help too. If we zoom in even more, we see this stone is very close to that ridge. That might also help. This stone is very close to the ridge. It already kind of looks like it's close, and just the outline makes it kind of hard to tell. So that's probably good. Yeah. Look at it in the game. Hey, a Pressel. Okay, I'm here now. Very kind of you to redeem first. It does so much for me. All right, now we want to do the same thing over here. So in this graphic, we have the snow. I guess there's the snowy ridge there, and it's like a few pixels up and to the right. Yeah, and what is a few pixels up and to the right? That first like lower wing. Okay, so we move this like so. That's probably good. I'll nudge this around a little bit, but first I want to mess around with some other things and make sure this is clickable and usable. Got a whole lot. Yeah. That's really not meant to be joked around with. I don't want to have to reinstate people's accounts on the Discord, and at some point I'll just stop doing it. Pi's already tested the system twice. It definitely works. Okay, then we would move the flags. What if we should show the flag ahead of time? So stone platform, we move this up here maybe. Oh, I gotta save. No, I think it can be a little bit closer to the mine's entrance. Like there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, and then the mountain, where should we put this one? Probably also on the right side. And probably just like maybe over here. You do approach this one from above. I don't think that necessarily matters. Okay, let's try running this. So I want to see what the difference is when they're locked versus when they're unlocked. So yeah, this is not, it's not bad. The highlighting is a little bit strange because it's just the mines. But I think that's probably okay. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. As long as it's clear that you can unlock that place, and it should be. You got some news. Oh, did you... The contest isn't over for the Discord bot thing, right? Oh, you got in a Harvard CS50. Nice. Yeah. That is great. Congratulations. Harvard, I believe, has online computer science lectures as well for free. I know it's not being a matriculated student, but if all you wanted to do was learn CS, I think those are a pretty good way of getting into it. Are you going there in person? Because I was actually just at Harvard a couple of months ago for the first time. I was just visiting. Hey, Alex. Yeah, I am feeling a lot better. I posted that update on Discord. I know it might sound silly, but my conclusions about like nobody is perfect, I say as I type out is incorrectly. Uh, I think this is important, and I try to think of like practically what does this mean for me. I mentioned this thing about a business that I'm kind of struggling with right now, and I still think in this particular case it wouldn't have changed my actions, but hopefully it'll help in the future. Teaching the teachers. Doing the online class, but it's a full certificate. Nice. Hey, GT. Yeah. I think that's really good. Also, I gotta say, I absolutely love the snowman, the Quickie Joe drew here. I know it's from the tile set that we have, but it's such a nice touch to see it on the battle map here. Yeah. Okay, so I am pretty happy with this. Let's get all the usability of this correct, and let's fix up the paths. So the paths are going to be a little bit of a challenge, and I don't know if we have them all. Let me make sure we have them all before I start. Because there should be some added paths here, right? Yeah, there are some added paths. Perfect. Okay. All right. I think we should be able to do this. So I got to remember how this works, and then we got to plug them all in. So A means it's incomplete, and the lack of an A means it's complete. Okay. Yeah, we already started doing this work, and I just got to remember how this actually functioned. So what is this? We have a filled in texture and a regular texture. Okay, this should be pretty simple. I'm on the right branch, right? Remind me later. Yeah, battle map areas update. Okay, so then we should have the graphics, which means actually that we should see, if I just click this. No, I probably have some, yeah, I definitely have some work I need to do. And we might need to move some of these around as well. Okay. Well, this will be a little bit difficult. But yeah, let's get started. So filled in texture, this should already be using, can you see the path? Path 0. Is that this one? It must be this one from the town. Oh wait, we never don't have a filled in path there, I think. But yes, I think that's correct. And then I think this is also correct, and it's just not going to the right location just yet. Hey, Dante. Well, simple in terms of like all I have to do is nudge some things around. I don't think it's going to be frustration free. I think there will be some annoyances here. So this one looks fine. This one is maybe moved a little bit in the wrong direction. So this is what this should look like. Canyon path. And what does it look like in the game? Yeah, it needs to be moved right and down, I think. Let's just do that and see what happens. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. It probably needs to be moved even more than that. Like there. I should do this off screen. Oh, Kodak, thanks for the resub. Happy third of a year. Yeah, welcome back. Okay, so it's looking a little bit weird. We want it to show beneath the tree, which I'm not currently doing. Yeah, maybe we move this up a bit. Oh, maybe we just line it up with the, oh, there we go. That's perfect. Okay, that's pretty nice. And yeah, there's a tiny little bit of oddity there with the highlight, but I don't think it's really noticeable. Yeah. Okay. All right, so next up is a canyon. Before leaving for the gym, read the Discord post, big into the how they respond if a company stole my $1 billion. True story. But respond to it with very reasonable and even pleasant ways. I'll choose them instead of someone who stole my $1 million. Yeah. Yeah, the stealing thing is not actually what was happening, just to be clear, but it still, I think, illustrated the point. And yeah, I think this kind of goes for anybody. Like, you know, you have a friend and they promise they'll do something and then they don't do it. And it's like, okay, that happens from time to time. So now what happens as a result of that? That's what I think is important. And I think the other part that's important is like not getting as worked up about it. I look at this in terms of almost like justice. And it feels like an injustice when a whole bunch of bad things are happening to me. And in some cases, it's because of essentially like either broken implicit promises or expectations or like outright promises. Yeah. All right. So maybe we should have both of these open next to each other. Oh man, I'm guessing you can also just like, no, I actually can't do that. How do you collapse this panel? Is there a view thing here? View untitled. Show toolbar? No, I want the toolbar. I want to get rid of this. Like just temporarily. I just want to hide it for a second. I don't know how to do that. All right, well, we don't really need to do that right now, so let's not worry about that. Okay, so then this next bit aligns perfectly with the edge of the canyon there. So I think we need to move the canyon. Did this graphic get smaller? Yes, it did. It did. Okay, that makes sense. Pay double if I like the brand or their customer service, etc. Even if their products are the same as someone I can get it from 50% cheaper. Yeah, yeah. And, you know, I think there's something to be said about getting something or someone and just being able to use that thing or person for the rest of your life. And it sounds weird when I'm talking about people, but what I mean is like, let's say you find a contractor and they do a fantastic job. It's like, oh, hopefully you can just keep using their services for, you know, the rest of the time you might need their services and not need to find someone new. And there are plenty of reasons that are totally valid why you might need to find someone new, even if you like them. Like maybe they move or maybe they're, I don't know, they have too many clients or something like that. Okay, so for this next path, we need to actually move the canyon to be further down. Yeah, and this needs to connect right there. Okay, so that looks the same, right? Yeah. Okay, so there's that path. Hey, Goose. So this is one little bit. Now we need to do this next bit up here. So this is the deep forest path, which is probably using the wrong graphic. I should probably just fill in the paths first. I would watch Adam Burns Bridges live as well, but I suppose I might not be wise. Yeah, yeah. I think I've tried to increase my professionalism since the first time around that I was streaming. Probably didn't even have any warranty, which makes sense since the product will eventually break. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so we go over to here. This now needs to be, this is path 0. So we're going to quick load in path -2. I think so. That should look like, yeah, that should look correct. And then path 2A. Okay, I'm just going to do this with all the map paths, so I don't need to keep coming back to this. So that was that one. Next up is this. So this should be 3. This is path 3. Path 3A. All right, yep. Then this should be 4. So let's see what this one should look like, just so that I make sure I'm doing this correctly and I don't break them all. Yeah, so this one has like a curve. It looks kind of like an M. So let's see if this also looks like an M when I finish this. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Okay. This is 5. Path 5, path 5A. Good. This one is 6. Wait, this one might not actually be 6. Because I think... Okay, well, let's just look at the shapes. First of all, what have I even selected? It's probably pretty important to know. This is the mines path going from the waterways. And that one looks like a big N. Like a lowercase n. Okay, so we got to find the lowercase n path over here. And that is It's not really like an N. Where is it? This one? Yeah, 6. Okay, yeah, that's what I would expect it to be. Cool. I just want to make sure they weren't added at the end. Path 6. And if any of these look wrong, we can just fix it. It's not like what I'm doing is permanent or it's going to cause me a whole bunch of hassle down the line. So I'm just going to assume this is 7. Yep. Which would make this... Oops, did I mess it up? No, I did not. Which would make this one 8. Path 8. Okay, hold on a second. My mini PC is spinning up. All right, take care, Pressel. Have a good time at the gym. What is causing this? Yeah, I think I know what's causing this. Oh man, I gotta fix this issue. What's the Docker command to see? I think it's Docker stats to see CPU usage. Yeah. Oh man. Why does this happen? Give me a sec. Yeah, I see what's going on.
Whoops.
I'm gonna restart my bot. It's just failing over and over and over. And I hear the fan spinning up and it's annoying me. So if I do this, it should calm down. And we should see BTOP even out. Yeah, CPU usage is down to 1%. 5%. I want this to level off. Go to ideally pretty much nothing. Like I should hear the fan turn off. It hasn't yet. I mean, I know it takes a little bit of time because heat has to dissipate. Still doing something. That's weird. 3, 4, GTR up 32 seconds. Yeah, that's weird. It looks like everything's fine. Huh, okay, well, in a few minutes, if the fan noise hasn't stopped, I should probably look at that again. What is this a map path for? I don't know. Jungle? I don't know what number that should even be. 8 maybe? We should probably just look at the picture. All right, so this is mostly straight and then goes up. Oh, that's what we have. That one's already correct. I think that's just lucky. And then finally this one, which should be number 9. All right, so now that all those should be done, I think, why will this save? Hello? Hello? Oh. Huh, yeah, it's not saving for some reason. Oh, that's weird. Scene save. Oh, there it goes. Wow, that took a very long time. That looks so much more confusing than HTOP. It's pretty nice. It's got a lot of details on it. So HTOP would pretty much just be this part, I think. But this also has a CPU history graph. It tells you about memory used, disk spacage used, and network usage. And you can actually even click some of these things, which is kind of cool. So you don't just need to use the console. But yeah, I do like BTOP. Okay, back to this. Also, hi Carson. All right, back to this. So we're gonna fill in. Oh, how is that busted? How'd I mess this up? Oh no, oh no, I know what I did. They're all instantiated scenes of the same type. So all that work I did was for nothing. That's okay. I'll just fix it. Yeah. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Can't win them all. It shouldn't take terribly long to get this good. Is there a hotkey for quick load, I wonder? Because that would be kind of nice. Editor settings. Shortcuts. Quick. No, there isn't. Well, what's the command palette? Shift Command P. Can I do it through there? I probably can't. Quick load. No, you can't. There's quick open. I don't think that's... No, that's not what I need. Oh, well. Fine. We'll manually do it. I guess I can put path on my clipboard, so I can just type 1 and then 1A and 2A, 3A. Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this now instead of separately later. It's good to batch operations. 5A, 6A, 7, 8, and 9. And then we get to the nudging, the great nudging. So we open up the battle map. We click that. All right, so the first one's done. The next one, I'm gonna get my reference image over here. We need to make it connect like that. It's got to come out of there. So yeah, let's go find this. Yeah, this should now be, I think, a little bit easier. I'm just gonna keep nudging these things until they're in the right spot. This one's actually a little bit tough because I need to get it like exactly aligned. No, it's supposed to go to the right a little bit. Actually, it's supposed to line up exactly with that. It's nice, perfect. Okay, I think we got it. I think. And that should connect perfectly with this. It does. Okay, so now we draw the next one. This one comes out just below those tiny trees. Oh, wait, no, I guess technically it goes... How do we do this? Did I mess something up? It should connect to that. No. The deep forest is in the wrong location. Because you can see these don't wind around the trees correctly. All right, so I got to move this somehow. How do we do that? We use the tree cutout. Nice. This is like doing a puzzle. All right, that should look pretty good, right? Yeah. If I'm off by even a pixel, it's going to have me shift everything after this, which is going to be a little annoying. So I got to make sure that it's pretty close. This isn't correct. Oh, it's a volcano path I want to move. Doesn't look right. There's a part of this tree cut off, right? Which means I probably messed something up there. Yeah, it does mean I messed something up. I think that's how it goes. Okay, cool. We're making progress. All right, next up the volcano. So this needs to go directly into that path there. It is not totally lining up. So we need to move the volcano itself. Excuse me. I guess we move this up. What am I doing? This needs to be like way up, right? Yeah, so something like that. No, I'm wrong about this because there's this little green bit there. Where's that over there? I don't know. Those can't be right. Those stones have to show. This is difficult. It's find the differences. Okay, move it left of it. Yeah, okay, there we go. I think that's good. I know the flag is in the middle of the path. We can move that. That can go anywhere. All right, how's that? How's that for the thing going into the volcano at least? That look pretty much the same? I think so. All right, so now the path going out of the volcano. This one's a little bit more challenging. So it comes out of the back of the volcano there. And that curve needs to align in that little nook. Oh, this one might not be too bad. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Any space? No, I think that's good. Okay, so that makes it so that we push the crypt by quite a lot. And this should just go right into the castle door, right? Yes. This should be pretty easy to line up. Oh, nice. It lines up with the path that's already there. So we just need to put this directly into that cutout. It doesn't fit exactly, and I think this is our centering problem that we had. But I think it's close enough for now, so I'll do that. And then next up is the path coming out of the back. That needs to go like so. Actually, that's pretty decent already. Now we just need to fix this bit. Means moving it to the right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Now we connect the waterways bridge directly to that. No. There we go. Perfect. And then the other path comes out from the lower bridge. Not quite. Is that better? I think that's it. Okay, and then that connects directly to the mines. So now we move the mines point. This means that I had messed this up a little bit, I think. That's okay. Oh, well, no, I guess it doesn't technically mean that, but this should look like it aligns now perfectly. I sure hope so. Yeah, it does. Okay. We're pretty good there. All right, so next up is the mountain path. We move that out of the mines. I can imagine what this is supposed to look like, but let's try to get it perfect. Yeah, that should be it. Not quite. All right, that's good. So that goes into the mountain. The mountain needs to connect. I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. Okay, so then the path coming out of the mountain needs to be from there. Let's bump this side. Yeah, it should go directly into that, I think. How's that look? No, needs to go down. Pretty obviously. But here the snow looks different. Maybe I need to move the mountain point. Yeah, in fact, I probably do. I probably need to move it up, which means I need to move. Oh man. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult because yeah, I put the snow in the wrong spot. at least according to this path. Yeah. That outline goes like that. Yeah. I mean, that's close. Okay, well then let's continue. Okay, so then there's the jungle. This one should just connect. I think it already does. Huh, interesting. Okay. Well, that's convenient. And then outside of the jungle is the Inferno path. And this obviously does not connect right now. So let's just move that. This should be right next to these bushes here. So this should be pretty simple to do. Oh, no, the jungle path is wrong. Because this path is on top of the bush here. Which means I messed this up. Wait a second. Yeah. Okay, so we got to move the jungle itself so that these things align. So we just got to align this with this tree, presumably. Ah, perfect. But now does it connect on the left side? Huh, it looked like it had already connected before that, so I don't know what I did wrong. All right, so now we just got to line this up. Well, I say just have to line this up. We have one more after that too, but then I think we should be good. So this just connects on these bushes over here, right? Not quite. That. Yeah, that. Okay, I think that's good. And then finally the Inferno. Okay, so that's what that should look like. So this stops. Oh, there's a cutout here, so we can just do that. There. Okay, so I think that's everything. I'm gonna save this. So if we just look at the path, we shouldn't see anything standing out. It should just be a continuous path going through all these locations, connecting pretty well. Yeah. So next up, we need to move the flags. So let's see. The forest one, I kind of want it on the left side now because the mines is right there. But maybe we move the mines flag up. Yeah, but the volcano point needs to move for sure. So let's go start with that one. That is currently on the bottom. Let's put it up there. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, crypt. Yeah, I want to separate these a little bit visually. So I think the crypt one should go somewhere different too. Let me close out of all these other things. Crypt point. Okay, where do we want this though? I do like that it's in front of the castle. We could put it here. Yeah, it's not bad. Then move the waterways one. Hey, Svenhoff. Say the path running through the swamp doesn't line up as well as the others. It's not bad. If it's not like super noticeable, like if I have to zoom in and I'm like, yeah, maybe it can be moved by a pixel, I think that's okay. Yeah, there are bridges because it looks pretty good to me. Right now, all we're doing is moving flags. So this flag on the right side here, I think just needs to be moved so that it's not colliding with anything else. That's pretty good. Although now it's blocking the graphic a little bit. We could move it down. I don't think I like that. We can move it over here. Yeah, I think I like it in this spot. And it'll just block the graphic a tiny bit. That's fine. Okay, next up is the mines. Mines is currently on the path. That's not good. So we can move it up here. Or we could move it down here. I think up is probably better to indicate that it's at the mines. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, and then there are only 3 more. Yeah, so the mountain. The problem is that this has grass cut out of it, and it won't work with grass. Well, or we had to move this like out to the grass. It could work there, for example. But then when you click this, it's going to select this flag. I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. Then the waterways. I'll put this one on the right side. Where is it? Oh, that's not the waterways. That's the jungle. Well, I got to be careful about how far away I move this. Maybe putting it there is okay. But now it's pretty close to the one on the left. But we can move this one farther down too. Yeah, good. All right, so let's examine everything. Now, no flags should be on the paths. They shouldn't be blocking anything. They should be in pretty reasonable spots. And I need to look at how the locked button shows up on these things. I'm not actually a big fan of this. I don't know. I think it's fine. ABC path from mountain is a little misaligned. You can see a small tree cut out on the path and snow below, which should touch it. Path from mountain. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, well, this indicates that I should move the entire mountain graphic to the side, which I thought might have been the case. But now that means we need to move everything else as well. So, all right, well, that's fine. Okay, so how about this? Let's get just this path to be 100% for sure where it should be, which means moving it to the left and down a bit. Yeah, there, that's good. Which now means this needs to be moved left and down as well. Actually, I should have kept track of where it used to be so I can figure out just how much to move everything by. Oh, that would have been smart. Okay, let's Command Z everything until hopefully... There, okay. So here's where it was originally. Was 1389 1002. And then I just redo a bunch of times until we get that to where it was. Yeah. And now it is, so it was -5 plus 8. So we should be able to just do the same thing over here. -5 plus 8. So now the mountain has been moved. So yeah, this part aligns totally fine, and now this part doesn't. So we can probably do the same. -5 plus 8. Is that good? No, now I think this path is wrong. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, it's just like barely wrong. We needed to, yep, you can see the shape now. That's where it's supposed to go, I think. Yeah, that's perfect. Now, does it not align with the mines? It doesn't. So the mines need to be changed. Oh no. I was hoping this wouldn't go back too far. Because if the mines need to change, then it probably means that the path out of there needs to change as well. Oh, you can even see, yeah, there's a tree cut out here. Oh, okay. Well, we're getting there. All right, so mines point. Perfect. Good. Hey, Cruddlefish. And that means we need to move this too. And now we should see the cutouts in the right spots, which now means we need to move this. It messes it all up. Like that, I think. Yeah. Let me change that one too. Good. Now that looks bad. Yeah, I think it's good. By the way, thank you for pointing that out, ABC. And then this is slightly off. It looks like they're getting less off now. I don't know if that's true. Something like that. So is there any hint of this? Yeah, there's the hint right there that I had done this wrong. So we got to align it with that tree, which it doesn't look like it wants to evenly align, but that's not bad. And now it's in the wrong spot on the volcano. There we go. Surprisingly enough, this looks okay, right? How is that possible? I just moved it a bunch. Huh. Okay, I think we fixed it now. All right, let's look at every single part of the path. Just make absolutely certain there's nothing weird going on here. So we shouldn't see any like weird cutouts for trees. This goes smoothly through, comes up to here. Yeah, I think it's fine. Then comes out of here, up. Looks good. No weird cutouts. Goes straight into the volcano. Comes out of the volcano. Bends around this tree. Good, good, good. This looks a tiny bit strange. Maybe we should, maybe that's a centering problem, which I actually don't want to do too much about right now. But then, yeah, looks good. Comes out of here. Looks good, looks good. Yep, tree cut out. That's good. Comes into the mines, comes out of the mines, goes down here into the mountain. Around this stuff, tree cut out. Looks good. Oh, this is not totally correct, is it? Oh, no. All right. Yeah, you can see where it should be aligned, and it's definitely not aligned there. But this is toward the end of the path, so this shouldn't take too long to fix. So I'm guessing I messed up the jungle point and not the path. I just need to get those points into here, right? There we go. I think that's good. And then this path needs to be fixed. Yeah, I think that's fine now. And then the final bit where we move this left and down. Okay. Yay. We have our entire path now. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna save that. So we got all the points. Now what I want to see is, does clicking this feel okay? So you're clicking the mines, highlighting it looks okay. What happens when, what about the locked button? We got to go look at that. So we start and the lock button is there. I think that's okay. I don't think this needs to be centered or anything. So what we're going to do is enable invincibility, speed up the game a little bit, and then just go win all these things. Yeah, so we click unlock and then fight this. And fight this. Okay, now the next lock button, perfect. That's fine. Just needs to be like roughly where you'd expect this thing to be. Oh, this is now on the path. Oh, what? What happened here? Uh-oh. Why didn't I see this before? This is like super wrong. Oh no. Okay, path to deep forest is very wrong. I traced along the whole path though, didn't I? And I didn't see anything weird going on here. And I didn't move that, did I? All right, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm just looking at the unlock button for now, which I don't think should ever change. Yeah, this stuff's all looking weird too. Oh no. Is that going to be permanently messed up? I got to figure out what's going wrong there. Hey, Mitch. Yeah, the incomplete paths look bad. They don't align with anything anymore. I think I might have not saved something. Like all these look wrong. Oh, that's really, really bad. Because I just did all this work manually. I hope I didn't lose it. Although I don't know how I could have. Hey, Mohit Kumar, and hey, Vargas. How did I mess this up? They're all using the same path shapes, right? Yes. Yes, I didn't mess that part up. But it does look like... does look like they're in the wrong spot somehow. I don't know how it was possible for me to mess this up, though. I mean, clearly it is messed up. If I just unlock everything, what happens? Yeah, they're like going through random paths. Oh, no. Huh. What did I do? I can't even think of how this could happen. The only thing I could think is that there's something in code setting the path and I just changed it manually so that all those manual paths are now gone. But I don't know why we would have done this through code. All instance data. We just have next instance ID. I guess the instance map would have it. It just gets a point and shows it, doesn't it? Get map marker. We don't ever do any like weird positioning stuff, do we? No, we just fetch it from the map marker. Unless a map marker has weird positioning code, does it? Position. No, unless I type position wrong. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have anything. Wow, I don't know how I could have broken that. Okay, then how about this? Let's fix one of them manually, and then run the game again and see if it's fixed. Hey, Chaos. I've got the cure for you right here then. It looks fine over here. Why is it showing the wrong location? Did I not rerun this? Maybe that's the problem? Oh my god, if that is the problem, I'm gonna be upset. Maybe I only went to the title screen. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I did not super mess anything up. This is why I couldn't figure out why everything was broken. I thought I had rerun the game. I didn't. I just went back to the title screen and then went to here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then let's do this again. Sorry, I got to repeat some of this. I guess I can just load from the save file maybe. Yeah. So we're just looking at where the locked buttons are showing up. So the next one's over here. So we got to turn on invincibility and fight everything. Cool. Then fight this. Okay, so we click the lock button. Good. The next one's over here. Perfect. I expect all of these are going to be fine. I don't think we have to change anything. But just in case. So there's that lock button. Now we look at where the next one is. It's on the mines. I think it'll be obvious enough. You could always zoom out, and it's flashing green. Yeah. I don't think there's a way to miss this. Plus, you can kind of see the path outline of where you're supposed to be going next. And you'd also know that it's got to be in this quadrant. There's nothing else to unlock. Okay, so now we fight the phoenixes. Wait. Oh, this is branched off of an old branch. Okay, I see. Because I was going to say the phoenix instance is not correct. So now we go to here, unlock the mountain. The Yeti's the only one you can actually lose to, even with invincibility, because it insta-kills you. Yep, that looks good. Fight over here. Fight over here. And then there. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so all of those are fine. Ooh. You're thinking of Shella Skeller, JD. Where you sell skeletons. Alright, so this is done. Make sure all the paths are in the right position. This is done. I think the flag on the guild might be moving due to centering a sprite. I need to write a note about this. Okay, so now what do we have to look at? We just have to look at what does this whole map look like when there's nothing filled in. So we're just going to examine the paths that should be there. And they're just like sort of drawn in paths, but not really. It actually doesn't look like these align perfectly, but that might be fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, because these are the ones that aren't totally filled in. It does lead to like little glitches on the map, I guess, but yeah, I don't think anything's like super noticeable. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah. Cool. All right, so I think we can just go merge this. Note. This commit did not originally include mines.png and mountain.png. Wiki Joe sent those over Discord, and I've included them in my commit. Are you in the famous last 10%? Yeah. Yeah. I watched a video that Cynical Dev shared. Well, I didn't watch the whole thing yet, but Cynical Dev shared a video. Let's see if I can find this really fast. Jonas and what's that game called? Click and Conquer. So this min-maxing your Steam launch, and I'll share this in chat. I think it's an interesting video. You know, whether or not you agree with what's being talked about here, and it is a little bit questionable. And this person's actually been in the stream before. This is Thornity Co. So what Thornity's talking about, Thornity made this game Click and Conquer, and they approach it from a very data-driven perspective of like, as they're playing the game, they think of where the lulls, how often does something like Balatro have you clicking or making a decision? So when should we introduce things in our game? And then how do you convert as many people as possible? And like, what tricks can you use? And one of the tricks was having a 40% sale at launch, and then then lowering the base price and lowering the sale at the same time. So that the game's still kind of always on sale to just trigger consumer psychology to make you want to buy this more. And anyway, it's things like this where it's a very different way of approaching game dev from most probably indie developers, where they're like, how do I make the game good? And how do I put like creativity and passion into this, instead of just like, okay, how do we hit the numbers we need to hit? So I've been watching a little bit of that so far. I'm maybe half an hour in. You know, I got a new keyboard, so give me some tips to optimize my keyboard, like layers, like resources of layers and layouts. I think I've already shared everything I have to share with you. Yeah. I don't think there's any other piece of advice. In the end, I guess there's this advice. In the end, it's your layout. So like, do what makes sense for you. And this is almost like if I said, okay, everyone take a picture of your computer desk and I want to find the best layout. It's like, it doesn't really make sense, does it? You know, you might want a stack of papers on your desk and a pen, and I might want whatever, a cell phone charger and something else. And I get that you might say like, well, okay, at least with this though, you're using it every day and maybe there's some optimal way to do this. But even then, it's based on your scenarios that you do. So like, let's say you always type in, I don't know, French. You probably want your main layout to be different from someone who's never typing in French. So you can type characters with accents and things. So I don't want a stack of papers on my desk. Okay, that's a bad layout. Yeah. Let's get rid of those. Maybe we give you a lighter and you can burn the papers. Yeah, welcome in, Konemoto. I'm asking like where you optimize your own. Where I optimize my own, like I said, I base it on the scenarios that I do. So for example, let's say you're typing in JavaScript all the time. It's not uncommon in JavaScript to type backticks for strings and then a $sign and curly braces. Like those should probably all be in the same layer for you. In fact, you might even want to make a shortcut on your keyboard that types all of these things at once. So you can type something like whatever, resource.name or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, and in order to figure this out, you need to just look at what are your usage habits. I don't think someone else is going to tell you what those are. I get, if you're talking about just like what's your base layer, is it QWERTY or is it Colmac or something? Those you can look up online. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't really think it matters what you use. Or at least not remarkably so. Hey, Ingvar. All right, so we got to check all this stuff in. I don't think there should be anything controversial here. It's just me. Whoop, what's this going? Huh. Strange. Oh, because the canyon was in all of these. And now it's not. Okie dokie. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so position all map nodes and paths. This also adds in mines.png and mountain.png. Quickie Joe shared over Discord. All right, so sync that change. This all looks great. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do think this looks great. It's nice that we have the full map now too. All right, so we're gonna merge this. There is one other pull request from Quickie Joe, and it is this: update 3 icons in the Phoenix. So there were some icons that I thought, I'll explain these as I go actually. So this icon is for starting with more adventures, and it's very busy even zoomed in, but when you're zoomed out, it's very hard to tell what this is trying to represent. So if I click this and then here's what the icon looks like. You just can't really tell what's going on in this icon. So I said, hey, can we just make it simpler? And he changed it to that, and I think that looks great. So yeah, this is great. This one was very minor. We have a coin on here, but you buy this with Wisdom Sludge, so he changed it to a brain. And then same thing here. We had coins here, but this actually grants you Wisdom Sludge, so we just removed the coins. I think that's good. And then the Phoenix changed, and this one's probably a little bit harder to show. But the old graphic, so here's the old graphic. This wing here and here kind of looks like it's wrong. And if you switch to the... No, wait, that was the new graphic. Sorry. The old... All right, so here it is. This is the old graphic. This wing looks like it's the Phoenix's left wing, but it's like in front of their head. So he changed that to make it look like it's behind them. And you can kind of see this change as I do this. And then same thing, you can see a change over here. If you look at those pixels, this is the old, this is the new, this is the old, this is the new. So now it looks a little bit more like it's coming out of the right part of their head. Now he did not make that change, I think, on the revive graphic, but that only happens for one frame, so it's probably fine. Am I using LFS? No. We don't have a lot of like large images or anything. So I don't think large file storage is really necessary. It's probably more important when you're making like 3D games with lots of models and textures and stuff. Okay, so all I want to do is see this in the game. GHVR checkout 1218. So we're going to get into the Phoenix fight, and I'm going to just make myself invincible, because all we want to do is look at the animation. In fact, I guess we don't even need to get into the Phoenix fight for that. We could just do it on the map. And then I'm going to take a quick break because an ad's about to start. So we hit continue. We need a ton of money. We need that. Good. And yeah, so this has the wrong instances here. That's fine. But we're just going to get into the Phoenix battle, turn on invincibility, and take a look at the graphics. So this is the new Phoenix graphic. And yeah, I think this looks good. I do want to see what happens when one of them dies, but I'm going to just go take the... Well, actually, let's speed this up. Maybe we can see it. It might not work because they might all die at the same time. I need to see the revive graphic, actually, not the death animation. Yeah, they're all going to die. Okay, but if I put the I'll just do this later. Okay, I'm going to go take my break. All right, is it jump time? It's jump time. Okay, hello again. Oh, Komodo, thanks for the sub. I heard a sound as I was in the hallway. And hey, Merritt, welcome back. And Mole back. Yeah. Okay, close the game. All right, so I wanted to see the death or the revive animation of the Phoenix. So let's just put the rogue into battle. They will eventually kill one of them. This might take a long time. Well, I'm not speeding this up anyway. We're not going to go like recompile or something or make the rogue stronger. Oh, I guess I could have easily made the rogue. No, it doesn't matter. All right. About to kill it. Yeah, nice. So let's look at the revive animation really quickly. Yeah, I think it looks good. Cool. Let Mitch enjoy his victory. Congratulations, Mitch. You won. You're the only person to get a customized victory fanfare. Now I will sing a 10-hour-long song about you and your valor. Yeah, so all this looks good. I'm probably not going to go check the icons in game. Well, I guess I could easily. I was going to do that really fast. At least one of them. Can we do the other ones really fast? I don't think so. I'll do one of them quickly. Yeah, nice. Nice. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, cool. These are all great. Merge. Okay. That was step one of getting the game ready to be demoable and playtestable again. And the reason why, oh, I can't show this now, can I? No, I could because I still have this open. Okay, so here's why this wasn't demoable before. Because the map that we had, oh, this is the old map. This is the new map. Anyway, the map that we had the canyon here and here, and then a whole bunch of like wacky paths going around. And now that's not the case. So now we can show the game. And I just got to fix up some other things. And that's what we're going to do today. We spend that time. That's me on the GIF. I know what you're talking about. So in order to do this, well, this we're going to go fix really fast. I'm pretty much certain this has to be the problem, by the way. Can we go find the flag graphic? Where is it? I don't know where it is. Let's just search for it. Flag. It's probably got flag in the name. Yeah, there it is. Wait, no. That's flag.png.import. Huh. There's an import file, but there's no actual flag file? It's called map flag. Yeah, wow. I think that other one is... Oh, wait, no. Hold on, I'm confused. Why did searching for flag not find this? Oh, there it is. Man, I don't understand scroll bars on Mac. I think it's because there's acceleration on scrolling. So when I only scrolled this far down, I thought I moved my finger far enough where I thought, oh, that must be the end of it. All right, anyway, there it is. Yeah, so let's open this up. And I think this is the wrong size. Like this is an odd number for width. Odd number for height. Maybe that's what's causing it. But it looks like it's moving left and right. Let's look at it in the game and find out what's going wrong with it. So new game. We just have to look at the guild. That's not even hard to do. So it's not moving there. If we zoom in, okay, there it's moving. Oh, but it's not that it's repositioning itself. It's that the different frames of it had different numbers of pixels showing. Can we do something about that? Wait a second. There's blank space at the end. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, it is. Yeah, 100 divided by 4 is 25. Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. So each individual frame, and I should write a note about that too, with animated sprites, you can't just check the file. You need to divide by the number of frames. Oh man, all right, this is tricky. So then we just need to move everything to the side. And what's kind of funny is it looks like we have 4 extra pixels on the side here, right? Is there a way to see individual pixels? No, we only have 2. Okay, well. All right, so I've never done this in Affinity before. I only just downloaded this program yesterday. How do you expand the size of a picture? And if anyone knows how to do this, feel free to tell me. This is not a rhetorical question. I just literally have never used this program before. So I don't know how you do this. Clip canvas, pages, setup, resize, document. Okay. So we just expand this by an extra 2 pixels. No, that wouldn't work. Wait. Yeah, it's got to be 104. I think we do that. I don't want to resample at all. Maybe maybe I don't want to do resize. Or not that. Maybe I just want to resize the canvas. Ah, yes, the canvas. Okay. So 104 by 28. No, I don't want that either. Hang on, I'm getting this. I know what I have to do. I didn't see a reset button in here. So I unclick that and then 104 for that. And then resize. Okay, there we go. All right, now we move all of these graphics 1 pixel to the right. So let's see, what selection? M. That did not do what I expected. There we go. I select all of this. And then what is that? V, I think. And then just press right. No, that moves the selection. How do I move the thing in the selection? Maybe like that. No. How do you move that? Drag to move selection, click. Huh. How do you move more than just the selection? Crop object selection, click to select object at point, drag to select object in a rectangle. Machine learning models. Okay, that's probably not what I want. All right, yeah, how do you do this? Affinity move image, not selection. How did you do this? There's a transform tool? Where's that? Fill, paintbrush, erase, adjustment, filter, clone, pen, rectangle. You're on the wrong layer? Was that it? Oh my God. How did I end up there? Oh, because when I pressed M, it went to that curves thing? Okay, yeah, thank you, Ingrid. Okay, so I moved this by 1 pixel. Huh, still in the wrong layer again. There. Move that by 1 pixel, then do that by 1 pixel, and then that by 1 pixel. Okay, that should be good. Hey, Kevin. All right, so I can just hit save here, and contains non-pixel elements. Would you like to see? What is going on? Did I add this somehow? This curves adjustment thing? I don't know what this is even doing there. Can I just delete that? There, now save should actually just do what I want, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking Affinity a lot better. I mean, I know I couldn't figure out how to do this, but I somehow added a layer that I shouldn't have added. All right, so now we got to go change the animation. So there's a flag somewhere, waving flag. This is the same as this, is it not? No, they are different. All right, so these frames are bad now. Let's just delete them all. And add them back in. So assets, world. It's in here somewhere. I don't know where. Marketplace. And now it's 26 by whatever the maximum size is. We can just type 50 in here. That should fully encapsulate each flag such that the leftmost pixel is that brown one. Yep, nice. So now we just select them all. And that should be it. We should have fixed the problem. So here was the problem before. We see this thing wiggling a little bit. Maybe we should take a picture of it when it's thicker. Maybe I should just take both pictures. There's one, and then let's get the thicker version of that. I'll do this in a new image. There we go. Hey, Soli, and thank you. Welcome in. All right, because I do want to take a note about this. Now let's go restart this whole thing, and we should see that the flag doesn't move like that anymore. I did not know this was due to centering. It is still moving. In fact, maybe I made it worse. Oh, man. I think it has to do with whatever the zoom level is here. Because if you fully zoom in, it's fine. You zoom into that level, it's fine. That one is fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Wait, now they're all fine. Well, that one's not. Does it have the right nearest neighbor pixel rendering? So there is no filtering going on here. Okay, never mind. Sorry. The texture itself does have a filter, but that should be set correctly. Let's make sure that that is animated sprite, texture, filter, should be nearest. But I don't think that's what's going on here because it's only at certain zoom levels that this happens. If we did set it to linear, you should see it get blurry as we zoom in. Yeah. So it's like, it's just blurry. So it's got the right texture filter. That part's fine. Something else is wrong. We've been sitting around the house and just chilling, and we were deciding what was the best way to do something. Gotta go do something even if it's wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's a very strong wind. Yeah, I'll just turn the wind down. Well, I'm glad I didn't write that note now because it would have been wrong. We should probably have the camera print what zoom level we're at. Set zoom. Okay, so gd.print zoom is set to zoom.x. Because there's only, I think this is at fractional zoom levels, which I think would make sense why this is happening. But I'm not positive that that's the case. All right, so zoom is currently set to 2. It's not happening. We zoom in a little bit. Now, yeah, now it's set to 2.5 and it's happening. 3, it doesn't happen. 4, it doesn't happen. Yeah, so it should only be at fractional ones, and the only other fractional ones we have are 1.5. I don't see it happening here. And no, that's it. We only have 2 fractional zoom levels, 1.5. Oh, it does happen at 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 and 2.5. I wonder why, though. Could it be that the flag is on a pixel boundary? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So we have the engine itself has a rendering thing, which is like snap to integer coordinates for pixels. If we look at, 2D. Oh, we don't have that on. I don't know why we don't have that on. I bet if we turn this on, I know it's going to mess something else up, but I bet if we turn that on, it's going to fix this problem here. It doesn't look like it did. It doesn't fix the problem. Huh. Okay. I would have expected that too. I don't want this on anyway, but is there any other snap thing that we have here? No. Oh, display window, snap 2D vertices to pixel. This is different from this one. That's interesting. Does that change that? Not immediately. Let's reload and see. What zoom level is this now? We're at 2.5 and it's not happening anymore. And now we're at 1.5 and it is happening. Okay, so it is definitely not this, which is weird because I would have expected this to fix it. I'm not totally sure what else this could be. I wonder what happens if we just turn off centering. Because that would at least rule this out. Yeah, so now it's going to be in the wrong position, but as long as it never does that weird thing anymore, I guess let's restart this. If turning that off does do this, then this is quite a puzzle. Which is why I don't expect it to fix this. But we're at a 2.5 zoom and everything's fine right now. Now we're at a 1.5 zoom and everything's fine. Really? Really? It's just a problem with centering somehow. This is why I hate fractional scale. I don't think you can avoid the fractional scale for a game like this because you jump zoom levels too rapidly. Like if someone wants to be between this and this, they wouldn't be able to unless we had a fractional zoom. And it's just too much. But yeah, this does seem to fix this issue. And I don't know. No, it doesn't seem to fix it. I still don't understand what's causing this though. Like, even if it is the fractional zoom, like, why does this happen? Maybe it's because the width is not a number of pixels. It's not though. It's 104 pixels wide, and each frame is, or I guess there are 4 frames. So it should be 26 pixels each. Which, granted, I guess when we're at a zoom level of 1.5x, then we're doing 26 times 1.5, which is 39. Actually, it's still an even amount. So what am I talking about? Or it's 65. At least it should be, right? Yeah. Yeah, so even those are fine. What am I missing? 2.5. No, those should be fine too. Is it where they are on the guild? -51 and -15. Okay, out of curiosity, what if I turn these into even numbers? They're going to be in the wrong spot now, but does that address this? Like, is it because it's multiplying the coordinates or rendering at? And if that's the case, why wouldn't snapping them to integer coordinates actually do anything? No, it's still happening. What would be doing that? I mean, clearly it has to do with having a fractional zoom level. And yet this is like the only part of the game I've seen this effect is this flag. So there's got to be a way to fix this, right? Huh. So this doesn't, so within an animation, this can still cause some like stretching / distortion. But if you otherwise can't align 2 pixels, the centering with an odd number could explain it. I wonder if we could set this to a zoom value of like 8.5 so I can be zoomed in all the way and see this. Here we go. Okay, yeah. So let's just set all of these to 0.5 amounts. And 0.5. And then put an F on the end of those. Interesting keyboard. Is it comfortable? Yeah, I like it a lot. If I zoom with greater game scale than 1 on my machine. Are you at 1.5 or 2.5? Because I was going to say that's the only time it happens for me, which is greater than 1, but it doesn't happen at 2 or 4 or 6 or anything like that. Yeah, it's possible something else is going on here. Yeah, if you want to find out more about the keyboard itself, like the sort of theory behind it, I've got that video there. I'm not trying to make money off of this or something. I guess I technically do off of ad revenue on the video, but I'm not selling the keyboard or anything like that. All right, so if we zoom all the way in, this is now at 8.5. Yeah, and then this is 7.5. Those are fine. 6.5 is fine. 5.5 is fine. Oh, I wonder if what's doing it is that the camera is not at integer coordinates. That might be it. My game's at 1x and I don't see that if I zoom. What I'm saying is I only see it at 1.5x and 2.5x zoom levels. Like 3, 4, 7, 8, they're all fine. And yeah, I do wonder now, is this due to where the camera is? Because when we say zoom in on position, we are changing the coordinates. Clamp position to camera bounds. All right, how about this? Let's just print out the position. This is going to happen every single frame, so it's going to be very spammy. But I want to see, is it only happening when the coordinates are not integers? Like, could we just snap the camera and we'd be fine? Don't we already do that? Maybe we don't. Hey, Scoreline, it's going well. It's going certainly better than it did yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was not a good day. All right, so all we need to do is figure out, we need to get this to happen. It's not happening. Weirdly, oh, there are two cameras, that's right. Huh, it doesn't matter if this is at non-integer coordinates. And it doesn't matter that we're zoomed in like an odd number. This is 2, this is 2.5. And it won't even happen now. What is going on? Maybe it's, oh, maybe it's about the window size? That doesn't have anything to do with it, does it? I mean, no, it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't even see it happening anymore. I didn't fix anything, so that should be impossible. How confusing. Okay, there it goes. All right, so what is the position? It's this. Copy all. So these are like bad coordinates. And what's our zoom level? If I just zoom out and then back in. Where's the back end part? 2.5. Zoom is 2.5. Okay. We have it on the battle map. They're different flags. Yeah, it's a different graphic. And it doesn't seem to cause this problem. We also have different zoom levels on the battle map. Started the second 90%. I mean, I think we technically started it a little while ago. I just don't like coming up with stream titles. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to test if this is a problem if we just set this to these coordinates. Like, can we reliably reproduce this? So whenever you call set zoom, or maybe even in process, let's do it in process. So we'll just say position equals, where's that vector? Here. New. And we need to put in F there and there. And then zoom equals new vector 2.5, 2.5, yeah. So I think as soon as we start the game now, we'll see this problem. And then what I want to see is what happens if I just change the coordinates to integers. Does it fix it? Because I just don't, I don't like this. Yeah, so it's happening. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change. So now there should be no way to move the camera, right? Yeah, I can't move it because I've set it in process. So now what we do is we change this to that. So we're rounding down. And here, let's round up. And I bet it won't happen anymore. Oh, nice, Flare. Good job. It is still happening. Huh. Huh. Okay, well, it means that some... What was I going to say? Doesn't matter. I was going to say it means that some scaling is happening, but we know that some scaling is happening because I'm literally zooming in on this. What I don't understand is why is it picking... Why is that little rendering thing happening? It's stretching this slightly differently based on the frame that we use. I wonder if we turned off the animation, if we would still see this. Like waving flag. We just go to the animated sprite and we turn off autoplay. and loop. Yeah, there. Oh, but I need to know which frame exactly is problematic. Yeah, so this technically doesn't tell us anything unless it's wrong. Oh, it is wrong. Yeah, you can see there's a slightly bolder left side here. So it's not the animation itself. It was brutal. Did the studying not help? Can you explain Malik now? Wow, how perplexing. So yeah, this only happens at 1.5 or 2.5 zoom. It doesn't seem to happen at 7.5 or 5.5 or something. I guess I'm expecting maybe. No, that doesn't make sense. Pointers to structs, arrays of structs with post and prefix notations. The pointers all combined in the single line. My brain cells burst. I do think it's probably worth breaking down. Like, what did you find hard? Why was the studying insufficient? Because I'll say this, like, not everyone uses C in their entire career, but at least most people, I think, in tech, like, learning how to learn is a skill. And I think it's an important skill because you will probably switch between different pieces of tech in your career. I guess you'll have to wait and see when you get the exam back. But then, yeah, I think studying and figuring out, like, okay, how can I learn this stuff? I think it'd be really, really good to do. Hey, hard worker. Hey, Zara. Learning how to learn should be the goal of primary education for all industries. I don't know about all industries. There are probably industries that don't really change that much. So you can just learn the industry and then be like, all right, now we're done. And then get dragged kicking and screaming through whatever tech change needs to happen. All right, I don't even know what to totally conclude about this. So yeah, it only happens at this zoom. Pausing the sprite doesn't do anything. Oh, wait, if we know that this is happening on that one frame, can't we turn this into just a single frame? Where are the flags? There, yeah. So what if I select just this? Where's the size of the selection? I don't want to commit this yet. Excuse me. Is there a way to see where the size of the selection is? I don't see it anywhere on screen. And in GIMP, it would be at the bottom somewhere. I wonder if you can see that as you're selecting something. Maybe there's a way to view that. Rulers? There's no way to just have it tell me what I've selected. I mean, I guess the ruler helps because I can see this is 20 pixels. So yeah, I guess we're fine. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to paste that into a new thing and then save just this, I guess. Skeleseller. Oh, nice. This uses the OS dialog. I didn't even realize it till now. GIMP makes their own dialog for this, and it's like super tedious to get to my Skeleseller folder because here it's pinned. But yeah, it's not pinned anywhere else. Yeah, oh yeah, I think adaptability is useful for sure. I don't think it's as necessary in some other industries, but it's not really a point worth arguing. College first semesters do be like that. Still remember the first lecture of C. C is a high-level language founded by Dennis Ritchie. Huh. Somehow I think super basic finance and money planning should be a high school semester. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Man. Okay, where are we putting this? I don't know, game assets. I'm just gonna say this is delete me. I don't like where this is going. No two ways about it. Not a fan. So let's load this, delete me. All right, so now we have the same flag in two different spots. I want to put it in the same spot. So we're going to copy this and paste it here. That's strange. Oh, because they're centered. Oh, God. All right, then we need to save it with an extra 6 pixels, I think. So we do document setup, resize canvas, and add 6 pixels. Good. Now save that. Huh, that's weird. There's no like save over. Why isn't it letting me click this? Even export PNG doesn't let me save over that. Oh, it does. It's just grayed out for some reason. Weird. Okay. All right, so now, strange. These should look identical now, right? What? It's like it's got the wrong size. Maybe we just delete it and put it back in. What is this? Negative 8, 10? No. 8, negative 10? Except for it's not that. It is supposed to be 8, negative 10. I don't know why these don't align even right now. What am I doing wrong? Did I not save this over the other one? 26 by 27. That's funny. There's no way to see the size of this, is there? No. We could on the sprite frame itself, I guess. We know this is flag, though. I don't want to open in terminal. I want to open in that. Yeah, I already have this open. 26 would put us here, wouldn't it? Is that 26? It is. What am I missing? Maybe it didn't save over this? It might not have. I might have done something wrong. Yeah, I did not save over it. I thought I did. How could I not have done that? I hit export. I click delete me. I hit save. Do you want to replace it? I hit replace. Did I not do that last time? Yeah, it still says it's 20 by 27. This isn't 20 by 27 though. It's 26 pixels. Huh, that's strange. What am I messing up here? Yeah, 26 by 27, export onto you. Huh, okay, well, this is not working, so let's just delete this. I'm guessing it's going to work just fine now. Delete me. Wow, look at that. I fixed it. All right, I don't understand that. If anyone knows what just happened that I'm doing wrong here, please let me know. If you click export, this is grayed out, but it still lets you save, and then it says replace, but it doesn't actually replace it. Are they stripping transparent blocks? They're not, because I did just manage to save it when I deleted the file, and now this is properly 26 pixels big. So just something weird about replacing a file that already exists. What do you think of making games in Pico 8? I think it's like a nice sort of game jam style thing, but I think the audience for Pico 8 games is pretty small, and I think you're limited in what you can do in terms of a game. But if you like it, you like it. I don't think that should stop you from doing it. I think there's value in things like history, but learning about the triggers of World War I and Franz Ferdinand, EU power dynamic in history, probably has generally less relevance to the average high schooler than how does a loan work? Yeah. Yeah. Simulates object-oriented programming. So something to consider is that C++ was just originally called C with classes. Like the way you got object-oriented programming is by starting with a language that didn't have it and then adding it on. So it makes sense that you could just kind of make any paradigm you want, even if it involves you inventing a new language with a language you have. I mean, at some point, it's all just machine code. And yeah. All right, so we got these in the same spot. Now I want to turn this off. And I want to see if this shows up as a thick sprite. What would that even mean, though? What would it mean? I don't know. I think it is showing up thicker. Yeah, it is. This is... So it doesn't even have to do with the size of the animated sprite. I wonder if there's any size we could make this that we wouldn't see this problem happen. I also kind of wonder what happens if we centered it in this frame, although centering didn't have anything to do with it, so I guess that's not a problem. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you need it to be even after scaling, so it's divisible by 4 for half scale. I don't know. There's another thing that's kind of confusing here too, which is I have this scaling turned on. So like, does that also mess things up? If I super zoom in on this, does that change anything? I don't know. Have the pixels will be twice the size, like every other column or row. Yeah, I get that, but the thing that I don't understand is we have this, right? So Wayne, thanks for the resub. Happy 22 months. Okay, so here's what I don't understand. I get that half of the pixels might be smaller or larger, but why is it when I'm rendering frames on the exact same position? Like if I just rendered this blob in an animated sprite, why is it that some of them expand and some shrink if their position is never changing? That's what I don't understand there. So something's happening with an animated sprite that isn't adding up. And I just don't know what it is. But it's probably not worth looking into this too much more. I think I have an issue filed on this. No, we don't. Is each frame the same width? Yeah, they are. And I even made sure that the total size is divisible by 4 and gets set to an even number, but that doesn't matter, I think. Also, hi, Gorman. I never talk about the guild flag here. I don't think this is really worth focusing on. Yeah, this is not the most important thing. But one thing I do want to write down, at least in my notes. So first of all, do I have anything else that's here other than just flag stuff? No, I don't. All right, so we can just revert all of that. But the thing I wanted to comment on was if you have a sprite that is centered and is not the right size, we should probably just make a new image for this. I should just copy paste a bunch of blank pixels. Whoops. Huh. Interesting. Frames not being multiples of 16, wrong pivot location, etc. Yeah, I don't know what's doing this. So yeah, I definitely don't know what to do to fix it. All right, so I want to wipe out everything we have in here. Let's just select everything and delete it. And then I want to draw in. How do you draw? Pen tool. Wait, this is not like pixel art. Pen tool. How do I just... I'm in pixel mode. Why is it doing this? This looks like vector drawing. What does it say on here? Click or drag to create starting point of a new curve. There's no just like draw randomly? Huh. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Yeah, interesting. Oh, that is interesting. Hey, neat. They have the same problem I have. Okay. Hmm. Just reading through this really fast. Why does it happen for an animation though? This is what I don't understand still. Hmm. Hey, Final Boss. Is it MacBook or MacBook Mini? Or Mac Mini? Neither. It's a Mac Studio. Yeah. Made an Expo app. Just a Hello World. What is Expo? Open source platform making universal native apps. Ah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, Hello World being 94 megabytes. I don't really think that's super meaningful. Like if you put a single sprite on the screen in Godot and just exported a build, it'd probably also be many, many megabytes. And there are ways you could trim it down, at least for Godot. But like in the end, does it matter too much? Probably not for game downloads. So yeah, if you're making an app, does it matter if the app is like 94 megabytes versus 110? Probably not. It does depend on your audience to some extent. But yeah, for most people, downloading 100 megabytes is not a big deal. I still don't understand why this happens within an animated sprite. Yeah. Is he sick? Oh my god. Is Godot more popular than Unity? I don't know. I doubt it, but I think it all depends on what metric you consider it popular by. Is it like by number of developers? Is it by growth? Is it by number of games? So like number of games must be Unity. Number of developers, I don't know, but I assume it's Unity. Growth is maybe Godot. Yeah. Hey, who cares? Yeah, I still don't know why this affects animated sprites the way that it does. I guess it's, oh, maybe it's scaling the sprite first and then cutting it, dividing by 4. But then why doesn't this happen at the larger scale factors? Oh, thank you. Who cares? Happy 13 months. You're beyond a year now. All right. Well, this isn't worth my time. So we're going to come up with that repro that I wanted to come up with. All right, but I couldn't figure out how to just draw random pixels. Is it one of these things up here? Smart mode, pen mode, polygon, line. Huh. Smart mode. It's still like vector drawing. I have pixel selected, right? Affinity, draw, arbitrary paths. Or pixels, I guess. Pixel persona and its various tools. Wrong tool. Yeah, I don't know what tool I'm supposed to use though. I hovered over all of them. I didn't see one that sounded better. Oh, there's like a whole bunch of other ones. Pixelate tool, pixel tool. Yeah, painting. Why can't I click that? Is that what I'm supposed to be using? I don't know how that's supposed to work. Should be brush or something. I only saw a pen. I didn't see another thing. There's in painting, there's clone, there's filter brush, there's adjustment brush. None of those sound correct to me. Hey, Karada. Thanks. It's 90%ing though. There's vector on top bar. Maybe you need to change. But I'm not in vector mode, right? If I'm in vector mode, I'd expect this to only be now vector editing. Wait, what? This is the opposite of what I would expect. Why does pixel mode not let me use that? There's a pencil over here, but there isn't one over here. I can't solve. What am I doing? Oh, I'm dragging this over here. Oh, well, I don't know why that's not in pixel mode. And it's not even rendering as pixels. They're rendering as paths still. But anyway, none of this matters. The thing I wanted to do is I wanted to just make an image that wouldn't align. So I guess we can just draw some lines here. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, God. All right, maybe I should just remove the pencil tool from here. Whoosh. Actually, I didn't realize that's how you even add that. Maybe I can just drag the pixel tool. No, I can't. Okay, well, I don't know. What are these things? I don't know. Also, what's this? Oh, just the colors. So how do I prove that this is a thing? Good old Paint. Yeah, Kevin suggested emulating paint.net, which is probably a good idea for things like this. I don't think I have it installed. No, I don't. I got hit with a snowstorm last night. Tried to get out of my apartment driveway, but I got stuck. Oh, man. Well, working from home doesn't sound too bad, at least. All right, so what I wanted to do is, I guess, just find any sprite with an odd number, odd width. Like its arrow odd width. Yeah, 13 by 3. Okay, that should be fine. So we add in a sprite, we give it the arrow graphic, and then we have it centered, right? So now I should not be able to line these things up. Yeah, I can't. Okay, so this is what I want to take a picture of. How would I? Well, I guess I'll just take a picture like that, yeah. The arrow top does not align with the flag bottom because the arrow's width is an odd number and both sprites have centering enabled. Centering, what's it called? Centered. Yeah. Okay, I want to put this in my Godot notes. We have like too many things in here. Sprites and sprite sheets. Aligning sprites. Yeah. So one time I ran into an issue where I was trying to align two sprites but I could only get them within half a pixel of one another. This is because one sprite had an odd width and the other had an even width, but both were set to center. A solution here is to just add a single pixel to the arrow sprite. JSPaint.app. This is exactly what I want. Can you paste in? No. Really? Oh, I see. Oh my god, that is so annoying. Should not be sounds that loud. It should be a pleasant like boop. This program seems so much harder to understand compared to Paint.net. What's the benefit of this program? So this program is more for my like high level image manipulation stuff I want to do. So let's say I have a screenshot and I want it next to another screenshot or something. So I don't know, something like this where I'm like, okay, here's the guild. And we paste that into here. And then I take a picture of whatever, some other NPC. What's going on? All right, I can't move the camera because okay, well, let's just take a picture of, I don't know, this skull up here. And then also paste that in. It's like, it's nice for this stuff. And I could be like, oh yeah, here's the comparison or something. I don't know, or expand something or crop things here. So yeah, if I wanted to change individual colors now, I could probably do that. And I probably just can't draw individual pixels easily. I still need to figure out how to do that. Yeah, I don't know what I'm even doing with this. I think I'll try switching this flag with an animated tile map layer to avoid all those issues. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Keep in mind that if you have an Atlas sprite, then it's just the size of the individual sprite and not the total sprite sheet that matters. All right, well, whatever. That was a lot of time spent on that. So we're getting rid of that. Done. Okay, next up is not going to be fun, I think. So I need to figure out this problem in Skeleseller. Let's set this back to 2. These do not render. And I think we just need to use a different font. And Godot even has some notes about what kind of font to use. And I think it's this one. Good resource for multilingual fonts is this. Make sure to download the correct variation. So I wonder how we set this up. You can assign this to me. I'll take a look at this. All right, yeah, I'll have to file an issue. The guild flag distorts as it waves when at 1.5x or 2.5x scale. So what was I going to say here? The part of this that I don't understand is why this happens within animated sprite 2D. I know that scaling would stretch or shrink pixels, but I wouldn't expect it to happen differently within equally sized frames of an animation. It must be scaling the whole texture first and then rendering it. Yeah. More translation. Well, this isn't exactly translation. It is localization related. But yeah, in this case, we need a font that can render these characters. I don't know how Korean is showing up. I don't have an explanation for that. It's not in our font. So how is that rendering? Maybe it's falling back to a system font that only has Korean for some reason. I don't think I downloaded Korean. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I should probably take another break. All right, well, yeah, we'll figure this out after the break then. Okay. Is it jump time? It's jump time. All right, hi again, everybody. Pretty competitive there, huh? Hey, Devil Dog and Happy Chappy. And Wem. So it said same message as former. Close the game. So you can get around that by just typing, like, let's say you want to type J5 2 times. You can just type some extra character at the end. Like, all of these are going to be interpreted the same way. You could also do something like J space 5 and then J5 and then J space 5. How many hours a day are you working on the game? The hours per day is a little bit hard to estimate. Hours per week is probably like 30 something. Yeah, it's really hard to say. So like yesterday I set out to stream. I streamed for 30 minutes and then got really frustrated and stopped. And then didn't do a lot of work the rest of the day, and then went to the library in the evening and closed like 35 issues on GitHub. And this might sound impressive, but it was just me closing stale issues pretty much. And it still took 45 minutes to do. But it's like, I wouldn't normally account for that, I guess. So yeah, every once in a while I'll work after work, so to speak. All right, we got to figure this out. So if no text is displayed after changing the language, try to use a different font. Default project font only supports a subset of Latin 1 character set. Can't be used to display things like Russian or Chinese. Good resource for this is Noto fonts. Make sure to download the correct variation. Once you download it, load it into a dynamic font resource and use it as a custom font of your control node. For better reusability, associate a theme resource to your root control node and define the dynamic font as a default font in the theme. Okay. Yeah, it is still work. It's just, it's hard to figure out exactly how many hours per day because that might happen on like a random Saturday or a Sunday as well. Hey, Unkibara. All right, so I don't think this is going to be easy to do. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy to do. So figure out how to use our Skeleseller specific font for languages that will work with it, and something like a Noto font for Japanese. Well, maybe it shouldn't be that hard to do. We just change... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do here. All right, so let's download the Japanese version of this. What's the license? Yeah, okay. Open font license. You can use them in your products or projects, print or digital, commercial or otherwise. Let me just read through this quickly because it's not actually that long. All right, goals of the open font license are to stimulate worldwide development of collaborative font projects, to support the font creation efforts of academic and linguistic communities. Allows them to use, studied, modified, and redistributed freely as long as they're not sold by themselves, which I don't plan on doing. The fonts, including any derivative works, can be bundled, embedded, redistributed, and are sold with any software, provided that any reserved names are not used by derivative works. The fonts and derivatives, however, cannot be released under any other type of license. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Permission is hereby granted, free of charge, any person obtaining a copy to use, study, copy, merge, embed, modify, redistribute, and sell modified and unmodified copies subject to the following conditions. Neither this nor any individual components may be sold by itself. Fine. Original or modified versions may be bundled, redistributed, provided that each copy contains the above copyright and this notice. Or, sorry, copyright notice in this license. Let me read this again. Each copy contains this. This can be included either as standalone text files. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Human readable headers or in the appropriate machine readable metadata. Yeah. So if I'm to use this, then I need to put a license into a text file and distribute that too. No modified version may use the reserved font names unless explicit written permission is granted. I'm not totally sure what this even means. It only applies to the primary font name as presented. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to expose this font in the game. We'll just use it and it'll be fine. Or the name, I mean. Name of copyright holder shall not be used to promote. Yep, that's fine. And modified or unmodified and part or whole must be distributed entirely under this license. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. All right, so licensing wise, this is totally fine. Let's click get font here. 2 font families selected. I don't want this one. And then I probably want bold for this too. Do you have any numbers on the amount of other language users are trying to play the game in? No, I don't. But there have been a bunch of YouTube videos so far where people tried playing it in their own language and just determined that they couldn't. And then they said it'd be nice if it was in my language. And those languages were Korean, Turkish, French, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese. I want to say Portuguese, but I'm not sure. I don't think we had... Oh, we did have... I think we had a German player. Anyway, this is saying a lot because these are people I did not even reach out to some of the time. They just found the game and then started playing it. And yeah, I think they want it to be in their language. Can you see those stats on Steam? I don't think so, but even if I could see what country they're in, I wouldn't necessarily know what they want to play the game in. Yeah, I've seen TLDR legal. I just figured this was small enough where I'll just read it myself. Or what is variable? Oh, neat. Okay, then yeah, let's download this. 58 megabytes? What? Even the font file itself is 9. Wow. That seems kind of crazy. It's got It's got English. Oh, wait. I was expecting to see Japanese here, but I guess it's always going to show me English because that's what I have my locale set to. It's also got a whole bunch of different weights. And what do we have? 3, 6, 9. Okay, so maybe by cutting out the different weights, we could get this down to like 3 megabytes or something. Oh yeah, how's your trip, Gwen? All right, I don't need to install this, I'm pretty sure. But I do need to configure it through Godot. So let's just close out of everything we have here. And let's get some just random Japanese text. So I'm going to go to Google Translate and we're going to type in English over here and Japanese over here. And we're going to say something like, hello, how are you? Okay, now we paste that into Godot. I guess on the title screen. All right, so I'll just add a label up here at the top somewhere. Rich text label. And we paste that in. And where is that? Up there? What? Why is this rendering? What's going on? I thought we couldn't render this. Oh, there are some characters we can't render. I'm not sure why, though. I don't know where that W came from either. Huh, that's strange. Font size, let's set the normal size to just larger so I can actually see this. And let's turn on fit content. And yeah, that's pretty good. Almost just said thank you. And this, please. What's in the static folder? Imagine if it's just pictures of static. Yeah, I see. So they have a variable font that's got everything, and then they've got the individual fonts. But even the individual fonts are like 5 megabytes. I'm guessing there's a lot of glyph data or something that's probably saved when you put them into just one font. So even if we use 2 of these, it's better to just use the variable one because it's smaller. Steam also, and I don't want to do this, it's just a ton of work, but Steam also lets you have localized builds, I believe. So I could say like on the Japanese build, export the Japanese font and don't export Chinese, for example. My favorite Japanese character, 5143. I'm quite fond of 6017 myself. Okay, so if we just change the font on this, let's go add the font to the game. Assets, fonts. Yeah, so let's put that in there. And now let's set this to use that font. Normal font, Noto. Okay, so yeah, everything renders fine there. Is there a font weight we can set here? Styles? No. I mean, we could change it to bold, I guess. Bold. Oh, that's super messed up. Oh, because we didn't set a font for that. Ugh. That's not bold. You call this bold? Yeah, right? That's not bold. Is it? I don't think so. They look the same to me. Huh. Wonder how you're supposed to use this then. Huh. I guess I'll just use the static ones. Yeah, I'll probably just use the static ones. A lot of game streamers are doing localization right now. I'm just getting close enough to launch that I think some of this is worth doing. There's another reason why I'm doing this right now, which is that I would like for demo users to be able to tell me how good the translations are that the AI did. And we can't do that if they don't render. So yeah, I don't know why, but only some characters render here. So how do we do this? Let's change the default font. Oh man. I only want to do this when you change locales, so we need to figure out how to do this. I think we should only change the project level font when you change locales. We probably also need to change themes though. Maybe there should just be a theme with all of the fonts we use. This sounds like it's going to be a pain, just a massive pain. Yeah, did they mention associate a new theme resource to your root control node and define the dynamic font as the default font? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like what we need to do. Okay. Yeah. All right, so where do we put this? Here, I guess? Does this have a theme? It does, but we don't use it for anything. So I can make a new theme really fast. And let's save the theme, assets, resources, themes. All right, so we'll call this something like Japanese fonts. And no, you can just change the default font. How does this work? It said to make a new dynamic font. Is that a thing? Load it into a dynamic font resource and use it as a custom font. I don't know what that means. What do they mean by dynamic font? I don't know if this is an old note. I think that might be what they used to call them. Yeah, I think that's just what they used to call them. What does it say? New dynamic font in theme overrides. Unable to find anything similar. Am I on the old version of the documentation? No, I'm not. It's unstable. Huh. So dynamic font is not a thing anymore. Dynamic font. Yeah, I don't think it's a thing anymore. That's okay. So it's just one of these other ones. And yeah, we'll go over to here. So font file. Can we just quick load in Noto here? So if I do that and then don't assign a custom font to this, it renders in the wrong font. Because this doesn't know that it's underneath the main. So yeah, I guess we just have to hit play. And then ideally it shows up correctly. And then I just need to dynamically change themes. No, it still doesn't work. Uh-oh. Is it because we have a theme lower down that overrides this? We probably do. Title screen does not have a theme. UI couldn't have a theme. This only... Yeah, this only inherits from here. And none of this stuff has a theme. Wait, so then why wouldn't that work? Huh, I don't understand. What am I missing? Does anything in title screen define a different theme? Yeah, we have title theme. What's using that? What are you? Game buttons. Story mode button. These are just for buttons, though. I'm not using this. And there's no other theme here? Oh, there's one more. Discord button. Okay, no, they're just for buttons. All right, I don't really know. I don't know why this font isn't being applied. Did I not do what it told me to do? It said root control node. Is that not a control node? It is a control node. Huh. All right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. There should be no other theme applying to it. I guess let's just run this again and I'll go look at the remote scene tree. Hey, Sarat. Yeah, I'll look at it over here. Main. Yeah, main has a theme set for Japanese font. And then underneath main should be the title screen. There it is. Excuse me. Yeah, so this theme is set to empty. I don't think it being empty is a problem. UI can't have a theme, and then there's our rich text label. And this has a theme of empty. So what if I set this to the Japanese font theme? Doesn't do anything. Okay, I'm confused. I don't have a font set, do I? No, I don't. And if I were to set a font here, then we'll see this render correctly. Wait, what? Is there twice? Oh my god, I duplicated it. Please tell me that's not what's happening right now. No, it's not. Yeah, I did have it there twice, but it does not have a theme. Yeah, this is strange. Huh. Wonder if it gets broken if there's a non-control node in between them. Oh yeah, like UI, a canvas layer destroys this, in which case this is going to be incredibly frustrating because we would need to run this like every time a scene changes, I guess. That sounds tedious. Title screen is also a Node 2D. It is, yeah. And they don't have themes. So yeah, that makes sense. And unfortunately, canvas layer also doesn't have a theme. So we need to set it, I guess, on here, and then everything should just work fine. Yeah, it does. Oh, man. Problem is that we don't have... Well, I guess the title screen could just be made into a control node, and then this probably wouldn't have been a big deal. In fact, let's go try that. I'll revert this, so now it doesn't render anymore, and then we'll just change the type of this to control. And it still doesn't render, but that's probably fine. This should be a control. Because it doesn't know that it's underneath the main node. So now I expect it to render. No, it still doesn't. I don't know if the canvas layer is fine. I don't think it does inherit through this. Let's look this up. Canvas layer inherit theme. They don't mention anything about themes on here. Get inherited theme from script. This is not what I want. Inherit parents visibility layer. Okay, what about just Godot themes? This is not fine what I want. This is what I want. Did they mention something about canvas layer on here? No. Resource for styling and skinning control and window nodes. While individual controls can be styled using their local theme overrides, theme resources allow you to store and apply the same settings across all controls sharing the same type. Add a root control in the canvas layers then. And it sounds like we would need to just manually do this everywhere. Like I can add a control in here, for example, and then throw everything in the UI under that control. Why did that not work? Huh, why isn't that working? I don't know what I'm doing wrong right now. It's weird. Shouldn't I be able to move things under there? Yeah, I can. Why can't I move everything under there? What? I think it's because I have it expanded. Is that why? Yeah, well, it works now. Okay, so then in this one, I would set the theme to Japanese fonts. Yeah, and then everything would render fine. There's a setting for project wide. Can we change that at runtime? Look at our tiny title screen. Once I change this to a control, I need to set this to full rectangle, I think, or expand or something. I don't know what. This maybe. It's a little postage stamp. And it's still messed up. Maybe this is what I needed to change. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and now it's broken because we can't see the buttons. I wonder why it's that large. Like what, this should be half the size? Is there a reason for that? Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. Maybe gotten a size override. Happens sometimes. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe even this one did. Wait, no. Something doesn't make sense here. Huh. I don't see what's wrong. I'm having this problem a lot more lately. All right, well, we could have the game open while I'm doing this. So if I shrink this like so, what does it want this to be at? Oh, I don't think it's taking content scale factor into account. So 1920 divided by 2 and 1080 divided by 2. No, that doesn't work. It's not that. And the buttons are still down there anyway. Maybe these things need to be set to use the entirety of the parent now. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Well, then that's easy enough to fix. I don't know what this one should be set to. The logo's probably going to be in the wrong spot. How'd you make the big Skeleteller title font thing? Oh, that's something that Quickie Joe just drew manually. All right, well, this is going to be a pain. But this isn't even really key to me figuring out the rest of the stuff. So how about this? So it looks like one method that might work is add a control node under every canvas layer. And then when changing locales, or I guess when setting locales, modify each of those nodes themes, and then make a theme for each locale, I guess. At least Chinese, Korean, maybe Korean, I don't even know, and Japanese. Because Korean, it looked like it was rendering fine. I still don't know why. Yeah, I'm going to write down some questions here. Why is Korean rendering fine? Is it that some characters won't work? Is it falling back to a system font? Have you checked if it renders fine on Windows? No, I haven't. So, and then another method we need to test is, can we change the project-wide setting for the theme? I don't know what our project-wide setting currently does, but I think it's for non-font stuff. Do we have a theme here? We don't. Custom, yeah, base theme. So I think we need like base theme Japanese, base theme Chinese, something like that. I wonder what's even in base theme. Oh, thankfully, almost nothing. Could we, isn't there theme inheritance? Theme editor? Theme inheritance, here it is. All right, if you want variations for a single control, like a different button style, you should use theme type variations. Suppose you need variations for multiple controls. Could use a base theme with common properties and override only what's needed. Set the theme. This is silly. This is really silly. Yeah, I'm going to check to see if we can change it at runtime. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to have a base theme that sets the panel layout. And then I want something like base theme Japanese, and it inherits from the base, and then it just changes the fonts. That's ideal. I think it's possible, but I think it's gonna make all our panels look wrong in the editor. Another way we could do this is we could have like base theme English, base theme Japanese. Base theme is really basic. It's just got a color here and a I don't know, a style. Oh wait, no, it's not even that. It's literally just setting the background color of something, and that's it. So possibly this is not actually doing anything all that meaningful for us. And then to download a bunch of fonts and like test them out. Make sure no labels define their own fonts, since they would override the theme. Yeah. Okay, so let's go see how we would do this. So here's where we have this thing set. Let's copy the property path. It's GUI theme custom. Oh, we never set this in the game right now, right? No, we don't. All right, so we're going to do this in here. This is in ready. We need to get the project settings. Is that a thing? Project settings on globalized path. Okay, so we can probably get it from here. Set as basic. Is there a theme thing here? No. There should just be like a way to set a setting, right? There's get setting. Set setting. There it is. Yeah. All right, so name and a variant. Okay, cool. So we want GUI / whatever it was, GUI / theme / custom. Now I gotta go figure out where that Japanese one is. Game assets, resources, themes. All right, so assets, resources, themes. I think that's correct. Let's just copy it from Godot. Copy path. Cool. All right, so I'm not going to do this at first. Or you know what? Let's do it from inside title screen. Do we have unhandled input here? We do. Okay, so how about this? If we press page up, let's set the theme of the project. And how about this? If we press page down, let's set it back to what it used to be. And what it used to be is whatever is listed right here. Okay, now I'll run this. I don't know if this is going to even show me anything because I think I have a theme set on the control node now, and I need to get rid of that. Already has translation change. Yeah. I'm aware of that. I wanted to just do this in the quickest possible way for right now. But yeah, I could have done it there. Okay, so we're deleting this theme. So now they're going to render poorly. Yeah, good. And now I press page up and page down and nothing changes. That's not good. Is it erroring or something? No, it's not. Is there a way to prove that it's changing the theme at all? I guess we're just... I don't actually know. I don't think the base theme is applying to this. It's hard to say, though. I guess what we could do is we could go modify the base theme to give it a color that'll make it really obvious. How do we even load this? Base theme. So let's just make a new thing here. Rich text label, add type, set default color to something. Oh, that's weird. Oh, there we go. Set it to red. Okay, that's obviously working. So then we know that that happens. So now we can set the Japanese one, base theme. This is here. We can set the Japanese theme to... this would probably be alphabetized. We can set it to green. And then we can be reasonably certain that this isn't working. So now I want to go change the, I guess hit save on this. No, it's already saved. So if we change the theme to Japanese, what happens? It should turn green. Yeah, nice. Okay. But we can't do this on the fly, apparently. Seems that we can't. Let's print out when we're doing this just to make sure nothing's going wrong there. Unhandled input. Using Japanese theme. Using base theme. Yeah, I can't imagine these aren't being hit. I don't know what it would take for that. Why did this turn red? Did I activate a breakpoint there? All right. Yeah, it says using Japanese theme, but this is still in red and the font is still broken. All right, well, let's look that up. Maybe that's not even supposed to be possible. Oh, there are a lot of issues on this. Let's just search for runtime. Behaves incorrectly does not apply. What else do we have here? I don't see anything else. Project setting, theme scale. It gets ignored completely during runtime, but displays as expected in the editor. Project settings are only read when the project starts. Theme properties ought to be effective, though. No, that's too bad. And this was from a year and a half ago. They're only talking about scaling here, though. Oh, man. Another idea, can we just have one theme and modify that theme instead? Oh, interesting. That's a good point. Yeah. It doesn't look like this works. I'll just paste the code here. It seemingly updates, but it doesn't render differently. So other methods to test. So let's, well, I guess let's write an X that this didn't work. And it seems like it's this issue. Seems like this issue. So can we just change the properties of the current theme? This would be very, very easy. Yeah, this would be very easy. If it works. I assume it should work, but yeah, who knows? All right, so how do we do this now? So theme something or other. How do we get the theme that we're currently using? Get theme font. Set theme font. Get theme default font. Returns default font from the first matching theme in the tree. Is there a way to get the Godot get like base theme? I don't know. I guess we can get it from the project setting, right? Yeah, so we can know that we're using this, but then how do we go fetch that theme? It's gotta be something like theme manager or something, right? So project scope theme, control theme of any control. How do we get the theme? Theme DB. Static information about theme resources. Oh, this sounds like it. Singleton that provides access to static information about theme resources. You can fetch the default engine theme as well as your configured project theme. Oh, there it is. Get project theme. Returns a reference to the default engine theme. Okay. It says cannot be overridden. that doesn't sound good. That definitely doesn't sound good. Oh wait, maybe this one? Project theme? I was reading the wrong one. Allows to override the default engine. Okay, yeah, this is probably what we want. Okay, so we want theme DB dot get project theme. So that's going to be a theme. And then we can override it to like set the font. And what does this do? String a name, a theme type, and a font. Creates or changes the value defined by name and theme type. I don't know what that means. We have a theme in here. It's default font. I guess that's what we want. Set the default font to be whatever we set it to in Japanese. This? Is that what we do? And then what's the next parameter? The font? Oh, no, that's not how that works. Theme type. What is theme type? Can that be null or default or something? What is a theme type? Is that what I see when I look over here? Type variation? Theme type variation, yeah. And it can just be an empty string. Okay, let's try empty string then. And then GD or resource loader dot load font. All right. I have no idea if this is going to work. What is this? Use string.empty? Yeah, sure. Okay, so that would give us... That would let us do this in Japanese. Let's try this out. Because, yeah, this wouldn't be too bad. And then we just need to fix every place that uses a custom font, which is probably a bunch of them. So I press page up, and nothing happens. Why? Why? I don't know what I'm missing. Theme set font. Closed. Not affecting children button nodes. Theme problem with button. I mean, this isn't a button. Yeah, maybe it doesn't reapply the theme here. Or maybe is something overriding this? No. We just have this rich text label. Okay, how about this? Let's just try setting it on the rich text label then. So get node rich text label. I don't know where this thing is, so I'm going to call it testeroni. Theme equals theme. I don't think that... Oh, maybe that's what we have to do. Maybe calling set font doesn't actually work. We need to call set project theme afterward. db.set. No, that's not a thing. There's no like update or commit the save. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I don't think this is going to do anything because it should be using the project theme to begin with. But still, let's try it. The other idea that I have, I've already forgotten as I started to talk. No, this doesn't work. Is to make a new theme. That's what I was going to say. Or to load my Japanese fonts theme, right? Resource loader dot load. Yeah, this should work. I would be very surprised if this didn't. Still not doing anything. What am I messing up? Oh wait, oh, there's a bunch of error loading stuff. Cannot open file Japanese font. Really? Game assets, resources, themes. Game assets, resources. Oh, game is there. Was that what I had up here? Yeah, I had the correct thing up there. I don't know what I did. I copied it from the wrong spot. Okay, that works. Although weirdly, that changes to... Oh no, that changes to green because that's what the that's what the theme says. Yeah, so this works as expected. I don't want to do this everywhere, but I guess it wouldn't be that hard if we wanted to. We could just, and every single one of these controls, we could give it a node group and then just find all nodes with that group and say change the themes on those. But I still think there's got to be an easier way to do this. Theme canvas layer. This has to be a problem, right? Like if I set a theme up here, does this change green? Yeah. So it's not propagating beyond the canvas layer. But if I put it here, it will change green. Yeah. What are you supposed to do about that? Yeah, there's no property on there I could change. But why has nobody commented on this? Godot, canvas layer, yeah, theme inherit. It's just not even, no one's even talking about it. Inherit parents visibility layer. I don't want this stuff. Yeah. Can't pass theme changes to children nodes. What are these dots they have here? Green font and texture got changed. Yellow changed partially. What date was this from? 2023. Want to be visible in all affected elements. Check if you've not accidentally set something specific for a specific element. Yeah, so make sure you don't have overrides. That makes sense. But yeah, we're not seeing this change take place here. Worst case scenario, we reload the scene. I think the worst case scenario I'd be willing to accept is that we have control nodes everywhere and we change the themes on those. Yeah, this still needs to be done. Or figure out whether we can just change the base theme or make a custom theme each time or something like that. Yeah, man, I don't like, I have a way that will work. I just don't necessarily want to do it because I think it's going to lead to a lot of maintenance down the road. Like I'll need to go into any scene that we have, let's say this one, and then figure out where this gets hosted. So it's like, I don't even know where it's hosted. Something panel type container. Here it is. All right, there are no canvas. How many times do we use canvas layers? I guess let's take a look at that. The intro scene, all the intro scenes, and then town UI, main, and title screen. So I guess there aren't that many. Yeah, it wouldn't be probably that hard to do. Let me take a look at the intro again. No, these scenes are all in their own thing. It's just the skip button. Although the skip button does have a word on it, and it does need to be changed. And what these are all... There's a canvas layer, but why? I don't think they even use that, do they? Maybe they do. Canvas layer. They do use it for text. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's doable, but it just feels wrong. It just feels like there has to be a better way But yeah, what else could we do here? That's the best one I have right now. Put them all in the same node group. When setting locales, modify each of these nodes' themes, look them up by the group. Well, we know inheritance doesn't work across it. Let me write some findings from this. Canvas layer prevents inheritance of themes. If you have control with theme, canvas layer, control without theme, the yeah, control without theme will not have a theme on it. Not have the grandparents theme applied to it. But it will use the project's default? It must, right? I actually don't know that it must. Let's go try that out. So let's just go change the project default theme to be wherever I put that theme. Oops. I'm searching audio. I don't want to search audio. I want to go to there. Yeah, Japanese fonts here. Game assets, resources, themes. Japanese fonts. So if I, save and restart. What if I just close and save? Yeah, it doesn't do anything. All right, let's restart. Now it'll be green, I think. It's white. What? Did it not load the theme? Is this correct? Japanese copy path. Oh, that is wrong. Oh, my bad. Yeah, so you do need to restart when you do this. But now I think it'll be green. Do you read documentation of set font on theme? It doesn't do what you think. I'll go read it. Okay, so this works. Okay, so let's write that down too. So the project's theme does apply to control.theme though. If it's going a lot better today than yesterday, that's for sure. We're trying to figure out how we're going to handle fonts for other languages. Creates or changes the value of the font property defined by those things. Use clear font to remove it. This sounds like it does what I want. Hey, Josie. But yeah, maybe it doesn't. Godot change theme font. How can I change default font for all labels? Create a scene that has a label with the font, and other scenes I instantiate that. Project settings, custom theme, they're super useful. Font. Am I doing something wrong? I guess maybe we should try changing something else then that's more obvious. Like override, set something, right? Set color. String name, theme type. Okay, yeah, let's set the color of labels. Let's just try to change those. So base theme has this color set to red. So let's just take that color and set it to colors.blue. So can I change anything is what I'm trying to figure out. So when I press page up, it should change this to blue. It does not do that. Invalid item name, default color. All right, how are you supposed to set anything here? What do you use for this? Defined by theme type. I gotta figure out what theme type is supposed to be. Do we need on a resource? How does it even does theme explain this at all? Type. Theme type. Is that supposed to be button or something? Set color. Creates or changes the value of the color property defined by name and theme type. Yeah, theme type is the variation. Man, there's some other way to do this. I can't figure it out. How do you even change the... Yeah, let me look this up. Godot theme change color through code. How to access this via code in Godot 4. What are they trying to use? Theme override colors? And what I want to set is this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That first thing is just the name. We can't just set it for everything. Maybe, I just want to see how other people use set color, theme colors. Font color, button. So they do set it for button. So I would do this and then specify that. This doesn't seem right to me. Because this is not how variations are exposed in the editor themselves. That worked? Okay. Well, then I guess I'm doing this wrong too. All right. So then how should this work? Japanese fonts. Default font. But there's no resource associated with it. Font file. Maybe I'm making a font wrong. Although it's not complaining. There's font file as well. What is that? Contains a set of glyphs to represent Unicode characters. And what's a font? Abstract base class. Should I have done it this way? Huh. Well, if it is this way, it's going to be very easy. Wait. Hang on. It's already... What? It's already using the different font. It's rendering correctly. Which means this was... Whoa, wait. Maybe that means my fix worked. And 100% reason to play the game? What? Maybe technic? No. It's already rendering correctly even before I do anything. Why? Did I change the default theme to begin with? I probably did. And I probably forgot to change it back. Yeah. And I can't revert this. I need to figure out what it's supposed to be. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Okay. That's what I... Yeah. So I thought originally, and then I'm like, but that's not right. All right. Custom font. It's saved by UID now. All right. Let's just get rid of that. And I want that there too. I think VS Code got more granular when changes are next to each other like that. That's kind of interesting. You can now revert them individually. So I just reload the whole thing. They also can't do percent math. I can do percent math. I'm 105% good at it. I'm going to just work through this next ad break. So sorry, people who are not subscribed. No, it's not working. I press page up. It doesn't change the font still. There's got to be some other way to do this then. Do we ever load fonts? Nope. Yeah, so maybe this is wrong. Oh, wait. Oh, I knew this was wrong. I didn't try it with font file. DMOC, thanks for subbing. I hope it wasn't the ads that convinced you. But now you can watch through. No, it still didn't work. Come on. There's got to be a way to do this. So Godot load font at runtime. Using fonts. Also possible to load fonts at runtime, even if they aren't installed in the system. What? You runtime loading and saving? Can we just have fallbacks for other languages? That would also have just worked. Fallback. Language. Wait, what? Using what? Which languages are supported? Basic Latin pre-render configurations. Waiting a few days for my Prime to reset so I could subscribe. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Theme also has default property, I just noticed. Default font. And there's a setter on here. Why is there set font then? I guess that's for not setting. Oh, that's probably for setting it on individual components. And I want to do this like this. And then I guess just comment out the rest of this. This is not what I would have expected, but it does make sense. So now I got to figure out if font file is needed, or can we set it to font? Does it matter? What does it even do? Nah, that fixed it. Wow. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So points to Kevin and to ABC. All right. So then we have an easy solution for everything. So what's the difference between font file and font? Does it matter? I doubt it matters, because whatever it's loading is going to be a concrete type, and this is an abstract base class. So it must be a font file anyway. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so this is a good strategy to use. We got to write this down because this is otherwise kind of nuts. So findings, you can change the default. I'm actually not totally sure if this is going to work. Well, it should work. You can change the default font. Wait, how do we get the theme? Yeah, here. Like this. Do not use this code. Yeah. So theme.set anything or set star is used for specific controls. Here's how you would change a rich text labels color. Where do we do that? Here. Oh man. Okay. So what does this mean? We need to figure out bold now? Yeah, except for I don't understand variable weight fonts in Godot. Can you even use them? Variable font? Using fonts. Has full support for variable fonts. So how do you use them then? Oh, you specify a new variation every time you need to use it. Oh, okay. I think that makes sense. So I could set the bold font like this, font variation. And did that just work? I don't know what I did. I don't know what I'm doing. Base font, quick load, Japanese, and then variation, embolden. Okay, so we need to pick an amount of boldness. But yeah, it looks like that's pretty easy to do. And then how do we do this through code, I wonder? You wouldn't use a thin font as your bold font? Yeah, I'm actually not sure why it's saying thin there. I didn't download that, did I? Where's the page where I downloaded that thing? Download successfully. Yeah, but when I download this, it just says Noto Sans Japanese variable. So I don't know why thin is in the file name. That's a variation you downloaded? Maybe, but it doesn't show there that it's that. Yeah, it just says variable font weight. What? I'm confused. If I double click this, what shows up here? It says thin. It says extra light, medium, extra bold, dark roast, soy milk. I think it's just defaulting to thin because it's the first variation in the file, maybe? Is it an open type variation? What am I doing with this? I don't know what I'm doing. Base index? Oh, you can hover over these, right? Active, I don't know what that means. Open type variation, features, add feature. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is nuts. Okay, so I don't know why it's saying thin, but I don't think it really matters because I think this has all of the fonts in it, and whatever renders here doesn't really matter. It just doesn't look good in the game. So yeah, I think we use a font variation. Figure out how we use font variations. And like get all of this working when you change to/ from a single language. Japanese at this point. And then customize the locale pop-up menu so that it always uses... Oh, how do we do this? I don't actually know how we do this. Renders the language names correctly. I don't know how we do this. So here's the problem with what I'm talking about now is that this menu doesn't even... Oh, it doesn't. I broke everything. Okay, hold on a second. I think we just get rid of all of this stuff I have here. Yeah, let's do that. And then click over here, reload. Oh no, that got rid of the label. Oh, drat. All right, well, we could Command Z maybe? No, we can't. No. All right, well, I can just type it out again. I guess it doesn't really matter. Add child node, rich text label. All right, BB code enabled. Go find where that translated text is. Here it is. Copy you over to here. So there's that. And then here's the bold version of that. Fit content. And I also want to make this gigantic. Font size equals 50. Okay, just put that over the logo. I don't care. All right, so here's the problem that I'm trying to fix. In the... Oh, what happened here? Oh, because we try fetching a node that now doesn't exist. Inherits from control, yeah. I should probably look through the other changes in this file. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it, I guess. Okay. We've done so much for the game in the last like 2 weeks. Localization, controller support, the rest of localization, the rest of controller support. Yeah, so here's the problem. I can't click now. This stupid thing has a mouse filter. Ignore. Okay, that should let it work. Huh, it's still won't let me click there. Do I need to restart for that to work? Oh, I think I had the game open twice. And I was configuring the wrong one. Yeah, so this. So I don't know how we get this to show up in the correct font because I think, and I'm not positive, I think that we can only have one font for this whole pop-up menu. And if we can, then we're probably out of luck. How do you customize that? Where is the pop-up menu? Game settings menu. Language menu button. Then we populate these here somewhere. Yeah, set up language controls. You can set text. What is this? It's a menu button. Wait, this isn't even what I want. I want that. Pop-up add item. It's just a string. You can't customize the font? Oh, no. I guess we could make a custom pop-up menu for this. It's easier to just use emoji flags. You know it. How about this? We just put every flag there for every country that can speak that language. And for countries that speak multiple languages, we just put those flags in many different sections. So you never know which language you're picking unless you know all the most common, like French speaking and German speaking countries in the world. It's a foolproof system because everyone knows every official language of every country. All right, what's the problem we're trying to figure out right now? Oh yeah, how do we add multiple languages to a pop-up menu? Godot pop-up menu, customize font. How do I customize the text to menu bar node? I want to make a language menu. I think it's just got to be custom. And if we do make a custom component, it should be very easy because we would just have, well, you don't even need it to be rich text, but we'd have something for this that says English, and we'd have something for this that says Japanese, but in Japanese, which let's go translate that, I guess. Japanese. Yeah. Language. I don't know what's supposed to render as. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, so it would show like that. But I don't think this is possible with pop-up menu. Pop-up menu, customize font. Excuse me. No. Font fallbacks being unavailable. Shouldn't font fallbacks? Web platform can't load system fonts. I guess it doesn't matter. Well, does it? You have the font on your machine. Actually, wait, is that the... Hold on. Was this all pointless? If we can't render these glyphs, but someone has like a Japanese font on their machine, would that have worked? Should I just install this and find out? I don't know how I would know to fall back to that, though. We can set up fallback somewhere, can't we? Font file. I don't know where you do that. Fallback font for other languages. You probably wouldn't want to do this. I'll just go to stable for this. Some people might see question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah. Okay, when it lacks a glyph, there are two main use cases. Use a font that only supports Latin character sets, but use another font to be able to display text from another character set. I should probably fix these typos in the documentation. Display text another character set. Well, what I'm thinking is, like, what are the odds you want to play a game in a language that doesn't have a font on your machine? And I think it's slim, but I don't think that's the real problem. I think the real problem is we need a font fitting for the game in any given language. fallbacks. This is just for glyphs. This is another problem we're going to have, right? Is that suppose you have this character in Japanese, like this, and then we have some text next to it that's in English, and it's like smaller characters or something. So there's like a lowercase, or not a lowercase a capital A, and like a lowercase d, and these are not the same height. Like it should be this tall because this is how big the Japanese character is. So I don't know. And not just cop out and use Noto. No, I do plan on using Noto probably for every other language. Well, I say every other language. It's pretty much just Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Would use monospace UTF-8 characters for sizing. I'm not sure, but what I was getting at more was just if we only define like a fallback Japanese font, then we'll use the main Skeleseller font for English characters and fall back to a font that may not match, which is probably bad and probably looks unprofessional. So that's why we should manifest all these different fonts for other languages. And when I say all these different fonts, it's really probably just 3. But I do want to at least write notes about this, write notes about why we don't just use fallback fonts. I think, and yeah, it's write notes on everything. Write notes about considerations or findings. Yeah, findings. I think it's so that all of your text actually matches, is internally consistent. If you can render an A in your font, but not a then they may look mismatched when it falls back to Japanese. Single font file can cover everything. And then, yeah, customize a locale pop-up menu. I don't think there's a way to do this. This is what I want to look into first. For that, maybe we have fallback fonts. Like we specifically set it on this. But I don't even think the font of this matters, does it? Like what if I change the font used? You can't even check this box. I know it's behind my head, but oh, there we go. All right, so let's change this to be Japanese and just see what happens. It's not changing any of this. Okay, so that's different. So the pop-up menu is different from the menu button. But if I do click Japanese, it renders now correctly because I'm using the Japanese font. So how do you customize the pop-up menu's font? It's probably a theme thing, but how do you even do that? Get pop-up. Add theme font override. Okay, resource loader dot load font file, sure, whatever that. No argument that corresponds to the required parameter of string name. It's just font, isn't it? I'm not certain that's correct. How big is the Japanese potential audience? I have no idea. And hey, Bats. And just to be clear, this doesn't just go for Japanese, though. This also goes for Korean and Chinese. So it's really how big are all 3 audiences. Oh, hey, there we go. Okay, so now Japanese renders correctly, but now Chinese doesn't. And it's also rendering very thinly. Make sure the text isn't thin everywhere for Japanese. Make this work for all locales. Chinese, Korean. So what do we do? Yeah, I don't think we can do anything here. I think this has to be a custom control. Probably actually easier to just take a picture of each language's name in that language so that we don't have to use a 9 megabyte font for all of them. But yeah, I don't know how we'd get around this without a custom control. I don't think it's doable. I do wonder if people have talked about this though. Pop-up menu, multiple fonts. Pop-up font. Also affect items in drop-down list. Technically, I guess the best way to do this is just make a custom font that only has like 50 characters. And those 50 characters are just enough to show all of these. So it's like amongst the top 5 of these, I don't know how many unique characters you use, but it's probably like 15 maybe. Because like E shows up in a lot of these and I shows up in a couple. And yeah, down here, these are what, a total of like 4, 7, 10. So 10 characters here. And then, yeah, same thing for Portuguese. So yeah, you don't need a very large font to render those. I probably don't want to spend the time even doing that. I wonder if someone's already made a font that just has enough characters to render the language names. Well, it's not 20 kilobytes, right? It's like 27 megabytes. Because the Japanese font alone is 9, I think. So I assume Chinese and Korean are the same, but maybe they're not. In fact, maybe Chinese is bigger or something, and maybe Korean is smaller. Yeah, I don't see anything here about this. So we'd have to make our own pop-up menu. Can you have a pop-up menu with like custom children? Don't see anything about these. There are a lot of issues open. Yeah. Huh. Let's search Google for this. No. No one's talking about this. I know I can just make one myself. Modal window uses display a list of options, useful for toolbars and context menus. Size can be limited to this. Incremental search. Is this why we have custom tooltips now to replace the pop-up? Yes. Yeah, that is indeed why we have custom tooltips. This is a pop-up menu which allows selection within the menu. We're probably gonna need a custom one of these too. Probably gonna be annoying. There's add icon item, add check item. Is there no add rich text label? That would be nice. Because if we could do rich text label, we can't. Can you have, oh man. Can you use BB code in here? If you could, then that's probably also fine. I wonder if you can. Okay, let's try this out. How do we test this? We go to, oh, you just test it right in the editor? button group. You can't. Oh, here it is. Yeah, items there. Okay, yeah. So let's just make a new scene and just add in a pop-up menu or pop-up button. What's it called? Menu button? Menu button. Menu button. So this will say menu. And then we add in some items here. Add element, text, English, and French. And then I'm nearly positive this will not work, but we're going to put color equals blue for English. There's almost no chance of this working. Now we run this. We call this delete me. And watch as it does not do what I want it to do. Yeah, nice. It does not. No. Yeah, there's what? Checked ID, disabled, separator, checkable, icon. Yeah, this doesn't help. Pop-up menu or like menu button BB code. Has nobody asked for this? No. Rich text label. Man. Surprised no one's talking about this stuff. No one else has had this problem. I just want to see what other people recommend or suggest because, like, as mentioned, I don't think making this would be too hard. I don't want to do it if there's a more standard way of doing it. Yeah, I don't see anything here. Improve API. Did someone here mention something about rich text? Was this all just one comment? Close is completed. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let me think about this. What would it be to build our own thing here? I guess this just needs to be a button that when you click it, it's going to pop this up right beneath it. And it's just going to have a bunch of rich text labels. And when you click that, it's going to transmit a signal back. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's the route we go. We just need to make something custom for this. Actually render those glyphs. Yeah. You click the button, it shows another control just beneath it that's and then we render each item in a custom font if needed. I'm not gonna do that now. I still want to get this working for changing the language to Japanese and see if it affects the whole game. Pierre, the town scene name thing if you want to look later. Oh yeah, I could probably take a look now. It should be pretty simple. Town is being instantiated is now town root. Town inside the root where everything happens is town scene. All right, I'll have to actually review this later. Sorry, I thought it'd be fast. Yeah, because I got to think about this and think of what do I think when I think of the town scene and how things are set up. Yeah. Okay. So going back to, let's delete this. Going back to the title screen. All we're doing is we're getting the project theme and changing the default font. This is actually not good enough because we also need to change it for labels. So we got to do something like theme.set font. Oh, this won't work though. We'd have to change it for all the themes, wouldn't we? It's noon. I should probably just take a lunch break pretty soon. But here's what I'm struggling with, I guess. We probably customize the fonts in a lot of areas. Like for this button, for example. This has its own theme. The theme defines its own fonts. Yeah. Has a font here. I don't know why though. Does this match what the editor has? If I go to our project.godot and I look at our font, Skeleseller main. So anywhere we use this, we shouldn't need to manifest this everywhere else. Like if I search for TRES files that have this, yeah, we have like close button and stuff. I don't think this should be a thing. So, and I think we can test it by removing it from here. Title theme. So title theme is one of the ones that has this. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, so let's delete that. So edit, delete. There. And now when you change this to Japanese, it'll change the text on the buttons as well. We just got to be careful about doing this everywhere. Nice. Yeah, cool. Hope it doesn't overflow containers when you change the language. Yeah, that's something we'll have to check for too. Okie dokie. This is such a thin font. Okay, so this should have been changed everywhere. It clearly hasn't been because there's other themes where this happens. So it's still using the wrong font all over the place. So that's the next thing we have to do. So like search for, what can we search for? Whatever I changed in here. Yeah, buttons, fonts, font. Things like this. Define places that overrode them. Make sure that changing the font actually updates every control in the game. And then bold. I just got to figure out bold stuff. So that's what should happen here, but this is no longer bold. So changing just the font isn't good enough. We need to change the rich text label bold thing or whatever. How do I do that? Like so. Change. Problem is I don't know what it's called. So we go down to here and then here. Copy path. All right. It is, I guess it's just bold font on rich text label. And then we need a new font variation. I don't know how we make one of those. Yeah. Where is it? Font variation. Font variation. Here it is. Okay, so how do you make one of these? Bold font equals, I don't know. Can we just do that? And set the font to that and the weight to something else? It doesn't like that. Does not contain definition for weight. What do they call it? They call it embolden. Really? Oh man. All right. And what, it's supposed to be a number from what to what? Emboldens the font, negative values reduce it. This is seriously how you do this? Isn't it just a resource that you loaded? Yeah, but I'm wondering, how do you do this on the fly? Because we could do it either way. And yeah, it looks like it's that embolden. Okay, and then what? How do we set the font? Base font? Yeah, base font. Okay, that should work. So now we should see the normal text on top and then the bolded Japanese text below it. No, the bold is gone. So it couldn't load the font. Condition MW greater than 4,000. Oh, yeah. This should have been like 2 or something. Yeah, my bad. You can't set the weight to, or the embolden to 700. All right, how's that now? Yeah, nice. Okay. So that's 2 is too much, but this is what we want to do, I guess. So like 1.5 or something. I think you should change weight. Is there a way to change the weight? I thought this was the equivalent of changing the weight but it probably isn't. Huh. Godot font variation. Yeah, Asian weight. Font variation. Open type tags as keys. Variation axes can be identified both by tags and names. Some axes might be accessible by multiple names. For example, WGHT refers to the same axis as weight. Well, how do we do this? We make a dictionary of variation open type. Variation open type equals new. Okay, let's try that. That didn't work. Or 700 is what it's already set to. I'll set it to 900 and I'll also spell out weight. So what is this? It's just a dictionary. 400 is normal weight. Oh, hey, that worked. Okay, so I think 700 is what the normal weight is. I thought 700 is what the normal weight was for all fonts, but I guess not. Either way, it looks like this is working, so that's good. Okay, yeah, so I'll do the rest of this stuff after lunch. I've actually almost been streaming for 4 hours, and I should definitely get food. Wow. All right, well, look, today was already better than yesterday. And this is really important stuff to be figuring out, especially if we're going to publish a new demo. If all of this stuff goes well and we can finish this today, which maybe, then I think that's the bulk of what we need to do to launch a new demo. Is there anything remaining? I don't know. I'll have to look through the list. But then, yeah. Oh, right. There's like an AI notification I need to do and probably mark a bunch of strings as not fuzzy, which wouldn't work. Okay. Let me write that down before I go to lunch. Where is that? Yeah, warn people that they're using AI generator for now. I'll just write at the end, warn the user about AI generated translations. They won't even show up yet though. While they're marked fuzzy in Weblate. There's no I don't know what we should do. If we unmark them all, then we won't know which strings were human reviewed. We could snapshot the file and unfuzzy all of the snapshotted strings. Are we at 180% yet? No. We're getting there. We are slowly moving forward. Patch notes and everything. Yeah, I think by the end of this week, we should hopefully be able to push a new version. And there are a lot of big things that have changed here since the last time. We pruned the demo. We added controller support. We added language support. I think that's it for the demo. But then for the playtest version, we fleshed out all of story mode. So it's like you can actually play through the entire game. Yeah. All right, take care, Sully. Yeah, I'm going to get going. I'm going to go to lunch. It is 12:11. I'll try to be back by about 1:15. And we'll stream for a couple hours and just keep working on this stuff. But it's been going pretty well. Well, take care, everyone. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again post-lunch. See ya.